Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello.
and we're honoured. The return of James Farley. I mean, I say the return. He's just told us he's off for another 3 weeks soon. So I don't know what Matt. I don't know what to do, mate. You're the admin guy. Are we supposed to be filling out warnings or what's the deal?
It's gone. I mean, yes, we have some annual leave, but I think someone's taking the piss. Like we generally have a policy, and some agencies have this unlimited annual leave policy, and some people that's a great idea. Well, actually, some people actually find they don't take actually as much holiday as if they had a standard amount. I think James is now taking the piss, and we need to enforce something.
Look, just take it up with Chen. Take it up
I
with
like
her.
the fact that you go. I love the fact that you go. What do you want me to do, David? I'm going away. Is that what? Is that what you do? I couldn't do
no
that
choice.
at work.
He has no say in what he
He could
does
not do that at
at
work.
any time.
I mean, I've saved all of my annual leave for the year from work so that we can then go and visit my wife's family that we don't see very often. You know, we see them once a year, and it's the only time.
And what are your annual leave from this work? Because you're saving it from that one, but you're taking the piss over here.
I thought we got.
Yeah.
I thought we got 30 days. Like from this.
Well, you also thought that we had 25% each, but that's going to
Yeah,
get
that's
a
gonna
review.
have to
We'd
change.
like to thank our Patreon producers this month. Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Grey Dragon Claw, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Fred Fenge, John the Nelsmeister Nelson, Ryan Cabane, Stephen the Nuclear, and happy birthday, the Tukey. Again, we'd like to thank every single one of you for going full Nels. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, please go to patreon.com/TCGS. Honestly, we will lower how much James is getting. So if you're concerned with that, and that's the reason why you haven't signed up, don't worry. We are going to start docking wages.
What if you believe he should have his wages docked, though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't care what they think. I think it. So that's that. And we've got
but
a bonus
hang
show
on.
coming up this. No, we've got a bonus show coming up this week. We've got the video podcast. We've got Sonic versus Sonic next
Yeah,
week.
finally.
Now you've got to get in for that. Patreon.com/TCGS. We're also talking here over at TCGS about introducing. We've been lackluster with our merch recently, and we've been having a little chat.
Yeah.
And thinking, well, maybe it's time to release a new T-shirt. And
Yeah, you see, I've just seen this, and I never approved this. Like this was never approved.
Okay. For the podcast listeners, I just want to explain what's happened. We joined the call normally. Sean was wearing a lovely fleece, and just as we started the show, while the intro was going, Sean, this was all pre-planned. Sean unzipped his fleece to reveal our brand new James Farley T-shirt, which has a big picture of him on the front.
That's awful.
And his name. And what's the text that say underneath
The
it,
text at the
Sean?
very bottom says the realization of a mid-90s dream.
Right? And we were talking about sending it, but you did this at the start of the show, and James has taken a long time to even notice, even though the chat are going, I love that T-shirt. Where can I buy that T-shirt? Sean, that T-shirt is amazing.
Hang on. So what happened was I looked up, because I saw those messages, and I was like, "What's this about?" Then I looked up, and I was like, "That's my face." Yeah.
I recognise that guy. It's
right.
me.
Who's that handsome
It's
fella?
I am.
So, James, right, Sean's been developing this T-shirt for a long time now. I would say
without knowing,
legitimately
without telling me that this was
No,
going
I
on.
think
No,
He's
it's
shown
been
you
posted in
bits
the
of
group
it.
several
Yeah.
times. Works in progress.
Yeah, you're right. 6 or 7 months this has been of hard work.
I mean, don't oversell it. I mean, that's
No,
Day
it's
and
like,
night,
it's like when they say
7
that, oh, I've
months.
been developing the game for 10 years.
Yeah.
Have you? Or did you just go, oh, that'd be a good idea, and then 5 years later start working on it?
Exactly.
Right. James, we legitimately want to sell this T-shirt, right? And I'll tell you how legitimate it is. Matt has a button in front of him now that he can press and it goes on sale right now. But we
So,
need your permission.
James, you've got 30 seconds.
I mean, this is about my image rights. Like, I don't know what's
Our
going on
image
here.
rights.
Our-
It
yeah,
was-
yeah.
if we're
come on.
getting into real sort of technical bits about your contract. You haven't shown up for fucking ages, and you're taking another 3 weeks
That's
off.
true.
So I think maybe this is a thanks for letting me take the time off. Here's my image rights. And
What, so
also,
I'm supposed
I
to
said
sign them over in perpetuity? Like,
Yeah,
just...
I want you to leave me your image rights in your will. We've discussed this idea before. I can't remember if it was on the podcast, but I said I want your image rights left in your will, and I can't wait to do.
I mean,
stuff
everyone
with
in
that.
the chat wants one, James.
Yeah, go on, you can do it.
It's
I
you
don't
know,
mind.
it's nearly summer's coming. It's
Yeah, go
warming
on.
up.
Matt, press the button. Let's put this T-shirt on sale. Where
I mean,
can people buy
Chen's going to be furious when she sees
She won't
this.
know. You don't have to tell her.
That's true.
it? Yeah, because Chen's friends will buy them and wear them on the school run. Remember what happened that time?
It did. Yeah, that did happen before.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's,
story. That is a story that I forget, and when I remember it, go, holy shit, James must have had a meltdown. So just to recap, I think this was on the bonus show. We once sold a T-shirt with James's face on it, and his wife's friend bought it and wore it on the school run. So James
Yeah.
looked over, and his face was on his wife's friend's T-shirt. How did you make that? How did that feel?
I mean, I did the thing that I always do on the school run anyway. I just, put my hood up and put my headphones in and walked off.
You serious?
Was
Didn't even
that
acknowledge
You
it
didn't
or
even
talk
laugh
about it.
or acknowledge or say, hey.
I was just like, oh, great, thanks.
So if you want James Farley to feel like that, where do they go, Matt?
You go tcgs.co/store. I'm just waiting for it to refresh. It is live. I'm just waiting for it to appear on said store.
They've crashed. We've crashed the website already. People have. You got to see this T-shirt. Sean's modelling it. This has been 6 months in the making, and James didn't even notice.
I saw the designs before, but I thought it was just a joke. I didn't know you were actually.
It is,
making-
but it's a joke that only gets funnier once you put it on a T-shirt and sell it for profit.
Well, I've put a link in chat, yeah, but by the time this podcast goes out, tcgs.co/store will be the place to go get it.
We legitimately earn fuck all from those T-shirt sales as well. It's not even worth it. Go and get your T-shirt. Matt's gone.
Oh,
Pause there. We got to pause there because Matt's
Yep.
disappeared.
yeah.
Hang on, I'm just going to send
And he's
Chen a
back.
There he
message.
is.
Yeah, so I refreshed the wrong screen. I got so excited.
Keep
I was
that
like,
in. I thought that was going to be an edit, but keep that in. Right, okay. What were you saying, James?
No, I just sent Chen a message to say they've made a new T-shirt.
Why have you told? I
And,
thought you were worried she'd go mad. You didn't have to tell her.
No, but still, she will probably laugh a lot.
I'm going to take
Okay.
a photo of it and send it to Joe and see what she thinks of it. Where is it? TCGS.
I'll put the link in
This
the
could be
chat.
cut.
It's not up there yet.
Okay.
I had a look.
That's a shame. Our website does take about 14 years to load. So that's...
Well,
Oh, no,
this
it's
is
Spreadshop.
Spreadshop's fault. This isn't me.
Spreadshop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's not up yet. It's not available yet. Okay, right.
There
Edit
are,
that-
however,
edit that
some
out.
wonderful premium hoodies and T-shirts also
True.
available. Yeah.
Edit that out. Right.
Uh,
No, we
so
don't
I'm-
keep that in, Phil. Right, ready? So that's it then. tcgs.co/store. If you would like, you got to see this thing. It's incredible. James, have you got any feedback on last week's show?
I have actually, yeah, because it's brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and I mean, there's a couple of bits that I really particularly enjoyed. I mean, obviously, Sarah explaining Final Fantasy to Matt was really good. I enjoyed that very much.
I think
It was,
Ian's quote of "it was like me explaining The Spy Who Loved Me to my nan." It's about as good a comment as you ever hear about that.
bit
that
harsh
section
on
of the
his
show.
nan, but
Okay.
I also enjoyed the nicknames chat as well. You know, the whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about nicknames for kids. Disagree with Sarah on that. I mean, obviously, people are going to make nicknames for kids, but you don't have to make it easier for them, do you? You know, it's like
It's true.
make it more
Yeah.
difficult. It's more.
It
It's,
is.
I
a
don't
risk,
remember
that
this.
is.
What was the nicknames for kids thing?
It was like she was like saying like you don't have to like it doesn't matter what you call a kid, they'll find some nickname for it.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's
There'd
like-
always be yeah.
Which is true, but then also don't make it easy.
What was yours?
Don't remember.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He
he
does. What is
oh, I
it?
don't
Was
remember
it
what
James
they called
Fartley?
me.
I think we can keep this for the bonus show. It's,
Was it James
what?
Fartley?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it's.
James Fartley.
I mean, it's the obvious go-to, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah, how
you know,
apt.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Is that if you've?
No, one other piece was that Sean, what you were saying about Fire Emblem, absolutely true. Like skipping
Okay, cool.
skipping the battle scenes straight.
Yep.
Yeah, you start
Yep.
doing that quite quickly because otherwise it gets quite annoying. But yeah, otherwise brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you. But did the listeners like it? I assume they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they all did.
Matt is freaking out because I can tell what goes through Matt's head sometimes, and I'm
why
looking
did
at his
I-
face, and it's not live. The T-shirt's not live, and he's having a meltdown.
Why did I bother sorting out today at lunch if it's not going to be live instantly? But anyway, we'll come back to that.
It was supposed to be a big moment, and it's not live.
I mean,
Tell you what, Matt,
the links
I'll
in chat.
I'll keep updating you during the show, Matt. You know, just
Oh yeah,
keep saying,
please do.
Do you
That'd
know,
be
do
great.
you know
Not-
what's
not
really
live.
funny?
That's-
Is if people are listening to this on Wednesday when the podcast goes
It's
live,
still
and
not up.
it's still not live.
That's the thing I'm not looking forward to. Yeah. It says
Okay.
it's published. Let's move on. Al, just a general thank you to James Farley for streaming Dark Souls 3. I watch on YouTube while doing the night feed for my 6-month-old. Having completed Dark Souls 3, it's great to watch someone experience each new area, death trap, gank squad, infuriating double elevator, etc. Also amused Dr. Farley commiserates each shot with a shot of a Rebel and Vodka. As a fellow Souls fan, looking forward to James taking on Bloodborne at some point. What a game. Keep up the good work, lads. Awesome podcast. Much love, Al.
Go drop down. You need to change the link from store, Matt. If you go drop down all, the T-shirt is there. In black, it looks beautiful. I'll tell you that. I might have to get one
Oh,
of those.
fucking yes, you're right. Too right.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
What was that?
yeah. James, Bloodborne? I mean, I
Yeah.
stream Bloodborne, but, you know, Al doesn't give a fuck about me. So
well, if you have a
you
stream,
should.
you
It's
probably
incredible.
would. Yeah.
Did you
But-
not play Bloodborne?
I've never played it. No.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
shit, dude,
definitely
that
stream
game
that.
is-
That'd be sick.
That's like one of the best ones.
Yeah.
I know. Did you see that thing this week with PlayStation where they put up a thing? It was like a poll for what's your favourite PlayStation game, and it was like all these options apart from Bloodborne. And it's like
Really?
they wouldn't let people vote on Bloodborne for some reason. But
That's weird.
That's because
that
Evan
was
and
my
Bloodware's a
Bloodborne
remaster.
Yep.
You never played Sekiro, right, James, either?
I played a
Oh, you
bit of
played
it, but then
Sekiro,
I stopped. But
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is going kind of okay. Although I got very frustrated last week playing it.
What's your favourite, Matt?
Well, I was thinking that. I mean, I think basically Sekiro's combat was so tight and so difficult that when it was nailed, I still think like that end boss is just such an incredible moment. My favorite boss is Knight Artorias, and that was from Dark Souls 1 DLC. But Sekiro's combat was just so difficult that when you nailed it, it was unbelievably good. Yeah. So probably Sekiro.
Thank you, Rodan.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
Sekiro. Yeah.
And what about Bloodborne? Between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1?
I mean, Dark Souls 1's special because that's my first Dark Souls game. So yeah, I mean, Dark Souls wins for that because it's just my first one. But Bloodborne it's so different because you don't have a shield, so suddenly you're having to use the gun as a shield. This is such a different way of playing. But yeah, Bloodborne's incredible. They're all incredible in different ways, but Sekiro kind of just pips it for me just because that final boss it took me ages, and actually nailing it was, oh man, it felt so good.
Nice.
Felt so
Next
good.
bit of feedback.
Horace, feedback for James, who is having some well-deserved time off. James, did you write this email?
So this came in last week.
Yes, it
and
did actually. Yeah.
So this
Before they
Although-
knew that he was taking some
Yeah,
more
it
well-deserved
came in last
time
week.
off.
It came in last week, but it could have been any week. So it said, "I know you're not on tonight." So it's just
It
easy
came
to
in
say it
last
for
week, and
everyone.
we've been accused of not reading out Farley positive feedback. Actually, I just saved this for when James is here because I thought he might
Yeah.
like to be here
Oh,
to
there we go.
respond to it.
It's nice.
Go on.
Okay, feedback for James, who's having some well-deserved time off. I know you're not on tonight as you're very busy, but I just want to take this time to thank you for your stream on Thursday when no one else could be bothered. Before you streamed on Thursday, I was not having a good week, quite a stressful time. It wasn't as bad as the week previous. I'm sure you remember what I referred to that as. That was a week. You
Nice.
may sometimes feel like you do a thankless task, but I appreciate your hard work. The admin seems fit to call you out that you won't be on tonight, tarnishing your good name, which is frankly embarrassing when the same admin couldn't even be bothered to remind people you were streaming on Thursday. Did they even thank you for streaming? Did they even thank you for getting a hype train? Did they even know? Absolute scumbags, the lot of them, especially the admin, absolute prick. I hope you enjoy some well-deserved time off. Bet the news is going to be fucking shite without you there, James. Love, Horace.
And he says the admin. Is that
Me.
just
I think it
referring
means
to...
Matt. Yeah.
That's so harsh.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tweeted about Pill's like streams for well over a year now. Just
Well,
nor should you have to.
Apart from Sean's, you know. But
No,
No,
I tweet. I do
no,
those.
Sean does that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You can tell because they've got spelling mistakes and the wrong.
Yeah, I
length in
just
them and
I just
stuff.
thought I couldn't be like chasing you both, saying you're doing it. Okay, I'll tweet you about it. You doing it? I'll just let you
Well,
do
yeah,
it.
but
Can I just say-
and that shouldn't have to be your job. Like you shouldn't have to.
Yeah. So it's well over a year ago.
I do the social
James has,
nonsense myself.
James has spent the last year thinking that Matt's only tweeted about Sean's streams and not his. Can we delve into that?
I mean, it's been simmering anger about that, actually. I've been sitting there
He's tweeting
thinking,
about
kind of
Sean.
like, why is
those
why
fucking
they keep doing Sean?
bastards. Like, you know, it's just.
He didn't think that maybe Sean just did a tweet on his own accord.
And then
No,
no point did you
impossible.
go, maybe I should tweet about my stream.
I do that every time. Yeah.
What, from the TCGS account?
Yeah.
No.
No, I usually tweet from my own and then retweet from the TCGS account.
What about on threads? What about on
Okay,
threads,
so you
James?
just lied
Because I've got
again.
a.
I love
No,
it when
that's
you just
not a lie. How is that a lie?
Because you just said that you tweet from the TCGS account, and then it comes to, no, I'll just retweet my one from that.
Well, I've got
account.
to retweet my one because I've got to. It's my own stuff, isn't it? I've got to keep.
He's
keep
got to
some
get a
control
personal
over it.
brand out
No,
there.
no,
Yeah.
don't help him, Matt. I wanted to hear where he was going with that. It's just, you've got to keep a, and then you gave him the personal brand
is-
line,
it is-
so now he just goes, yeah, that.
It was the personal brand. Yeah. There you go.
All right, okay, it was the personal brand.
Anyway, James, how do you feel about Horace giving you some lovely feedback?
I think it's wonderful. I mean, I'm a big fan of Horace. He's been there since the start when I've playing Dark Souls and has given me the best advice and everything throughout. He's been amazing. But yeah, thanks, Horace.
What always sounds sarcastic.
Yep.
Always like Horace, who's probably being legit there, but it always sounds sarcastic. I'm telling you. And now he's giggling. Honestly,
not giggling.
something's up with James. I don't know
I'm
what's going on. You
absolutely
were
fine.
giggling. You had a little smile, but behind your fingers. Then.
It's all good.
Okay. All right, Mitch Microwave. Hey all, I feel bad for Matt's tale about being chased by a dog causing him to hate any chase scenes in games. I've had the opposite happen where a game has made me scared of something in real life. I'm 99% convinced that the water levels in Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive are the reason I'm scared of water. The horrible music and the drowning animation caused me enough trauma as a child that I don't want to go anywhere near any water that I couldn't stand up in. Keep up the good work.
Jesus. Oh, that's awful.
That's
that's bad.
understandable, though, isn't it? Because that Sonic
is.
stuff is horrible.
Yeah.
The way
It
does
really
that.
is bad,
Yeah.
yeah. And gulping down those. But when I must admit though, I giggled there during that, not because of your horrible trauma from playing Sonic the Hedgehog, but because when you said the opposite happened to me, and I just had an image of you chasing after dogs.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
what I
dogs
was thought. That's
slamming
what I
doors
thought it was going to
closed,
go.
and then being scared of humans in video games for the rest of their dog lives. There's that dun 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 dun. It's like, I hate
When they
that.
composed that,
Hate
do you
it.
think they were like, oh no, this is just like a bit tense, and
No, they
and-
knew.
or
they
were they
knew
like,
what
no,
they
this
did.
will give children nightmares?
Yeah, probably that. The music in that game is so fucking good. Like, say what you want about Sonic, it's not very good. The music in those games, holy shit, holy
Yeah, man.
fuck, especially
Jesus.
Sonic 2. My word. All right.
Last week we asked for all your feedback on Sean. We did get some, not
We got,
quite.
we got loads. I've had to delete half of it because it would have just been
Yeah.
Oh,
embarrassing.
right, okay, that's good.
Which,
Um,
thank you very
Were you
much.
happy
Obviously.
with the outcome?
What, sorry?
Were you happy with the outcome?
I was right. Yeah, those people sent actually some really lovely stuff. But I thought it'd be weird for me to just sit here and just get praised for the next 10 minutes, so I had to trim some of
I
it.
think that would be funny, actually. We can
Yeah,
start
I
with
think that
Cammy.
would go-
On Sean, he's a wonderful man. Anyone being mean to Sean will get a visit from me in the middle of the night. I'll be fully nude and screaming. If you think I'm making it up, ask Sean how he and I met. Sean rules, huff my farts. From Camel
How
Toe
did
Man.
you and Cammy meet?
Internet, Twitter.
Oh, so it's not that funny, Cammy. I
Oh,
mean,
sorry. I thought you were genuinely
it
asking,
was a
not
gag.
asking me to like continue the bit. Apologies. Sorry.
Oh,
Cam,
that
I
was a
ruined it.
bit, was it? Oh,
It was
I
a
thought
gag,
It was just
yeah.
like, no, there's a
just a-
really good story. No, but yeah,
No.
but what through what on the internet?
Twitter.
Twitter.com.
Okay, Twitter.com.
That's just that's
let's
the
get
answer
feedback.
now, isn't it? That's how anyone you've met in the last
So
10
everyone
years.
meets now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I met him at X.com.
or Fortnite.
Mastodon.
next.
Christopher Crockpot, I like Sean. Mini Citrus Juicer, I like Sean.
Now, what I enjoyed about these two is that really looks like I started sending these in myself.
Yeah, it
Because
really
I
does,
clearly
actually.
made up names.
Yeah,
Better check some
then
IP addresses.
yeah. And then by you addressing it, you think that we're not going to think that now, but
Yeah.
we do. We do.
Yeah, this is like traitors, except
Why
we
would I
would
bring it
double
up?
bluff.
If I did it.
That's exactly. 100% are faithful. But having said that, the
Do you know what
investigator.
I love about traitors? When you see them arguing around the table, you go, you know they didn't pick to be a traitor.
Yeah. It
Do you know what I
winds
mean?
me up
You
Like,
know
so
that's the
much.
as if
game,
they-
right?
It's like, oh, you've got some like traitorish traits. It's like, do they? Because it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't mean anything.
It literally doesn't matter. It's just whether they got touched on the shoulder or not at the start. Sorry, go on.
It's like the people who went on Big Brother and said, "I hate two-faced people." Like that's the show is kind of about.
go.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Why
around
always
that.
said
wouldn't have been
that? So-
allowed on the show if you weren't.
I always said that. Like there was always that thing in Big Brother. It's like you're two-faced. You say bad things behind my back. My view is, yeah, do that. Don't say bad things to my face. I
Yeah,
don't
like
wanna
what
hear it. I
sort
don't
of
wanna feel
insane
bad.
person treats everyone the same and is 100% honest? Like you would,
Yeah, with
no one would
everyone.
ever want to be around you.
No. Just be nasty behind my back as long as I don't have to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you call
Fine.
me a dickhead.
Just
The
start-
investigator. Was that?
Ah, James was stepping up to the plate then.
Oh,
I know,
sorry,
just-
mate.
Down, Matt.
I know, you just screwed
Sorry.
It happens
Go on,
every time.
go on, James.
Yeah.
No,
It's
go on.
the moment's gone. It
No,
wouldn't
no,
have
go
worked. No, it's not
I
going to
do
work
want it.
now.
I do
We
kind
will
of want to
never
hear
know.
it.
I was
Come
going to
on.
say,
Like
just-
tears in rain.
just, start a WhatsApp group or something like that instead. If you want to talk.
Well, they can't all be
Hang
zingers,
Yeah.
can they?
No, it's worth giving it a go, but sometimes maybe
I'm
don't.
sorry I pointed that out, Matt. You should carry on. Just use your. Yeah.
I'm not sure I can actually. No.
I'm really sorry. Go on.
No,
think-
no. In
Should we
James'
end up-
defense,
should we start
do you
the
not
pod
ever,
again?
do you not ever see people tweeting and you're just thinking like, do you not have a WhatsApp group for this sort of thing? Like people just firing stuff out and you're just like, where have you not got a group called the lads?
The boys.
Sorry,
Yeah. Okay. Can you edit that bit out, Matt?
no,
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I might edit a lot of it out now. Actually, we'll just start from here. Welcome to the the investigator. Here's my Sean only feedback. I got Paradise Killer in a bundle 2 years ago. I only played it because you put it in a Gotti show. On paper, this game sucks. You run around an empty world reading walls of text from JPEG characters. But man, I had a blast. I still think about this game fondly to this day. And songs from the soundtrack have cracked my Spotify top 5 and expanded my musical tastes. So thanks for championing this game. It really has left a lasting impact on me. You haven't quite saw me on Blimpy's Big Adventure yet, though.
No, you're missing out, mate. Missing out. No, Paradise Kill's an all-timer, man. Fucking love it.
It
Wish
is
I had
very
a-
good. Yeah.
Wish I had a reason to revisit it, but obviously knowing the mystery now, it's not really any sort of replayability in it. But yeah, it's a fucking great game.
I don't like this, but we're not going to do this again where we ask everyone to message in about
No,
one
this is
person.
a mistake. This was a
Oh,
mistake.
Sean! Oh, Sean!
Well,
Come on.
maybe it's giving me a boost to my self-esteem, Dave.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll knock that back down for you then, mate. Let's get you
Okay,
back
Sort
in
that out.
line.
Let's
Let's get you back in your lane. Oh, yeah, well, it's really giving me an inflated ego. It's actually helping my self-esteem, he says while wearing a James Farley t-shirt with his picture on his face on.
Available now.
listen. Who
If
else,
you go to a certain
who
URL.
else is blessed enough to be able to wear a T-shirt with their friend's face on it, and more than like 3 people will find it funny?
I'll tell you what I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
Is I sent Chen the link to that,
Oh no,
and it says read, but she hasn't replied or said what she thinks of it yet. So
she's gone. She left you, mate. It's just,
Yeah, yeah, that's the sound of her packing her bags.
yeah.
Oh, right.
no,
Is
no,
it-
she's
is
just
now-
paid. She's just
no,
paid
it
an order. She's placed an order actually. 10
It is-
t-shirts.
It is actually on there now.
Was it?
tcgs.co/store. Right, okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, mock turtle soup. On the subject of school nicknames, I remember being with my friends in the first German lesson of year 10 and finding out Roger lived on a houseboat. A quick flick through the dictionary led him to be called Schiff for the next 4 years.
Okay.
Classic Schiff. Love
Yeah.
that.
Big shift.
Quick, Leslie, just a quickie
Big
before I
S.
rush out. Could you remind those of us who don't have time to hang around for the socials, which Patreon tier you need to join for James to turn up? So I've got a dash. Keep up the good work, and Snappy Sean is my favourite.
I mean, it's supposed to be any of you not even need
All
to
of them,
sign
really.
up.
He's meant to
for it,
show up
but
anyway,
really,
yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Meant to.
It's just kind of part of it, isn't it? We're going to end with Charlie. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth
James,
spoiler.
can you not just go silent though? Because if you are going to be here, can you at least talk?
well, I don't get a chance. Matt's like immediately jumping
Anyway,
in on
next bit
everything.
of feedback,
No, no.
please, Matt. Thank you.
So, James, do you have a witticism about that previous email?
No, it's gone now.
Oh, you had one then?
Come on. Let's go.
Okay. We're good, James, yeah?
Yep, go.
Okay, cool.
Go.
Charlie, The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth spoiler by Sarah last week was truly unforgivable. You can't really blame a guest, but why was this not picked up in the edit? I always feel the pod had a tendency to be too loose with spoilers, but that one felt like a step too far. I think a good rule of thumb is that if you feel like you have to say, I don't think it was a spoiler to say this, then don't say it.
I mean, given that
Now,
given
this
my
has to be a
experience,
bit.
I mean, this is quite funny. It's like 30 years old at this point. But
Slow down, slow down. Firstly, I don't think that's a good rule to say I don't think this is a spoiler.
No.
Because then that person doesn't think it's a spoiler. I think that's
It's
not
like,
a bad rule.
yeah, okay. So if you're saying that, you're indicating that there's like a 0.5% chance that it could be a spoiler. But what we're doing is we're making a judgment call that it's going to be a much better discussion if we just say the thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean,
But I don't even remember what, like, because we talked about this in the group today. All we can think of was that
Don't
she
say it, Sean.
mentioned-
Don't say it, Sean.
Well, I don't think it's a spoiler to say.
Oh. Yeah, basically,
Yeah, it was an
Sarah
event from the original game
Yeah.
that was then wasn't commented upon further in Rebirth.
That's the
So-
only thing I can think
Yeah,
that there's been a misunderstanding.
It's like-
and
yeah.
the main talking point of that game for like the last 30 years
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
everyone knows about. Okay.
there was also on the front of the New York Times about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Actually,
Yeah. So we think it's probably that. Huge apologies if you haven't been around for the last 30 years in gaming, but it just seeps out, you know. Sarah won't be back on the show
speaking
again.
of spoilers, right? Speaking of spoilers, we're going to be like can you not wait to show your kids Sixth Sense? Because we're going to be annoying as fuck. Because now the reference of it has sort of just dwindled away. So our kids have got a legitimate chance of getting to that movie and not knowing.
what's the age
twist,
rating
do you know
on
what?
Sixth Sense?
It was a 15,
15,
I think.
I reckon.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know, it's
Yeah,
amazing when you come across stuff like that, though, that everyone's forgotten. Because I was watching Only Fools and Horses recently, and I got to. And,
Oh my god.
What? There's a big twist in
And
that.
I got, no. I got to. I'm right. I've finished it. I've watched all of them
Okay.
now, right? And do you remember in one of the
Why?
Christmas specials? Because I just felt like it. You know, you're away from home. Sometimes you just want to, watch.
Yeah, you
something
want to
everyone's-
remember what home's like.
Exactly. It's just like that.
Everyone's
But
got
no,
grand.
don't
Don't
you
you watching
remember-
Tommy Cooper as well? Yeah.
Hey, have
No,
you
no.
seen this
God.
documentary called Only Fools and Horses? It's about life in 2024 in London.
The Batman and Robin stuff is great.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But he does that gag with
You
the
didn't
whole.
watch the ones after the thing, did you?
Which one? Oh, the ones after they got the cash.
After the.
I did.
Spoiler,
I saw,
for fuck's sake,
there
James.
was 3 of them. Yeah, and they were
Oh,
awful.
the Gary episode makes
Yeah.
me cringe so badly. It was the worst. Go on.
Yeah, they were all terrible. But there's that he does that joke with that I can make your hands, turn your hands over without touching them.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Did that on Chen today. It's brilliant. It was a great one.
But no, I do feel for our kids who are going to sit down and watch that film, and while we're just sort of like looking at their face every 2 seconds, go, what's going on here? The other one that I've got is that we're legitimately going to, me and my brother, this is terrible, but when they're old enough, like I want to say 16, 17, we're going to say, have you heard about the Cloverfield thing? They do that in.
I thought you'd make it believable, like Blair Witch or something. But okay, fine. Yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah, but Cloverfield is kind of like, yeah, but actually maybe Blair Witch would be, but Blair Witch that's too much, right? That's
Yeah,
too much.
that would actually traumatize
Yeah,
them.
if
I think.
it fucked
If
me
you
up.
sold
It
it as
still
like a
fucks me up
real
now.
thing. Yeah.
I love that. Know if someone who doesn't know any of these movies is just this whole point. It's this whole bit is just completely
Why?
redundant.
What happens in these other films? I don't want.
Well, in Blair Witch, someone falls through a bar.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah, that's it for feedback. Go
you
to
know-
teeth. Oh, for fuck's sake, James! What do you want now?
We will talk about video games at some point. I promise.
We will.
Sorry, James. Go on.
James, say what?
Do you know there was a nice callback to that in Goodnight Sweetheart? Actually,
Was there?
Yeah,
Oh, was there?
There was a
he
call
did-
back to what?
to the whole falling
The
through the
bar.
bar thing. Yeah,
No, there wasn't.
yeah, there
there?
was. Yeah, there was.
How did
Yeah,
I not know? Oh, because Goodnight Sweetheart was fucking dreadful.
it was bad. Yeah, it's.
Okay.
So, have you also watched all the Goodnight Sweethearts?
No, I was just
Are
watching
you okay?
YouTube videos about Only Fools and Horses, and it was one of the things
Hold
that
on.
came up.
Oh, hang on. Whoa.
They're part of the same timeline.
I was going to say, so not only have you watched all the Only Fools and Horses, you're now watching YouTube explainers about the law.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yet you
Behind
cannot
the
be
scenes.
fucked to turn
Did I-
up for
I
this
think-
podcast. That's what gets me. Where's James this week? He's watching Only Fools and Horses again.
Have I mentioned on the show about my friend who has
So
a
what-
colleague who wanted to get into... My friend who has a colleague who wanted to get into Frasier and decided that in order to be able to do that, he'd have to watch all of Cheers first.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There's loads of Cheers as well.
Yeah,
isn't
there's like
there?
9
Loads of it.
seasons or something.
Are we being stupid? Is-
Not bad.
Is there an Only Fools and Horses?
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, that
thought you
wasn't
meant in
the,
general.
that wasn't. No, there was more. Is James doing an Only Fools and Horses podcast?
Oh my
Only
God.
only calls and horses.
Is he doing it with Matt? Is this a thing?
Who's the expert?
Well,
Matt,
maybe
you-
James
you-
is refreshing.
You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe James was the expert.
Right.
It's not you, Matt. Are you doing the Only Calls and Horses?
Oh my God, are you actually?
Because this is great, Sean. Because this legitimately,
Yeah.
this is legitimate
Yeah.
that Matt would have thought of the pun first and not
Yeah, yeah,
realised
yeah.
that actually no one gives a fuck about someone watching Only Fools and Horses for the first time. What's going on? Have we caught you?
James, do you want to tell him?
I mean, sadly not actually, which is a
No.
shame
Oh,
because
that was
this
a great-
does
that
sound
would be a
like
great
a
idea,
fucking-
Bollocks.
That would have been great.
That would have been quite good. Although, stealing my format. Okay, so
Yeah.
are we moving
Yes,
on with
go
the
to-
Part-owned, but yeah, go on.
Go to tcgs.co/store to get the t-shirt. No, tcgs.co/dear tcgs. Leave your feedback.
James, I'll tell you what, there is one thing that I'm glad. When you're around, I'm like, at least we got the news. At least we got the news with James Farley. And I'm not taking the piss. One of my favourite bits. James Farley reading the news. Let's go.
So, Sony want to do another console, like a faster one.
Here we go.
Not a
That's
sl-
why.
not a slower
That's
one.
why I love
That's
having
why we love you back.
Yeah. So this is the PS5 Pro, which see none of this is completely confirmed yet. This is all just coming from speculation from people that have leaked specs and all that kind of stuff. And it's supposed to have like a more powerful GPU that's like 3 times faster than the current one. It's supposed to be coming out, as they say, holiday 2024. Like this year sometime. And apparently it's going to have like 3 times the ray tracing performance and all this other nonsense.
How the fuck do you sell this?
I
How
have
do you
no
sell
idea.
it?
This really feels like I know it's been like 4 years, right, since the PS4 came out. Is that right?
Yeah,
PS5
2020,
rather.
Yeah.
Well, this will be the
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Will be 4
Which
years,
is
yeah.
which is about the same length of time as between the PS4 Pro as well, I think. But this feels like, I don't know. To me, this it doesn't feel like the PS5 has been tested really at all. By this point, and
Well, I kind of agree with you, but also all the promises of 4K 60 ray tracing. Every game has its performance modes and whatnot. So I don't know. Is the console not as powerful as we had hoped? Are the games running
Right.
too much?
Right,
Like,
Matt,
either
Matt,
way,
fine. But when they announced the PS4 Pro, they said 4K gaming, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. So I think that trust has now gone. And at
Yeah.
least then they were going, "Hey, no, it's now 4K. It's 4K." They had something to say. 4K HDR was the other thing that they kept saying when they were launching the PS4 Pro. And then now it's like, what do you do? Well, no, actually 8K. But I don't think everyone's on
yeah, but also
4K.
No one gives a shit.
all
The other
the
thing
time
is,
these
right,
days. I don't think it's.
it's this generation. Like I would say, pretty much the most successful machine has been the Switch, right? Like overall, it's blown everything
For
out of the
sure.
water. Like, and so
Yes.
that's big. I mean, that's not very very powerful. Why can't they just work around what they've got and just focus on the games rather than the hardware?
Yeah, because
at this point?
and this is not a new point at all. People have been saying it for several generations now. But when you look at how games on the PS2 changed throughout the PS2's life, and the stuff that people were able to do by the end of that generation was absolutely incredible, because devs had 10 years to really eke out everything they could from it. Whereas now we seem to have fallen into this cycle of every 4 or 5 years, it's just a slightly better one. Let's and I'm
Yeah.
not,
I don't- I
I'm
don't-
not saying, obviously this is in no way accusing devs of not trying. It's just when the hardware had that longer period of time to bed in and people learned the ins and outs of it, we got way more out of it. Whereas now the answer seems to just be new hardware every
But the
4 or
thing
5 years.
about, so I'll let you come in a minute, Dave. But the thing about that is, okay.
Oh, thanks.
No worries. We have the Pro and we have the regular one, but like devs still have to support the regular PS5. So it's almost a double. Well, it's increasing their workloads because I have to do stuff for the. Oh, great, we can do all this amazing stuff on the Pro, but we still have to support the non-Pro
Yeah, but
version.
hold on, that's the argument that they have for the PS4 Pro and PS4. You know, it's the same really. I don't think that's as much of an issue as a company coming like they're not going to reduce the price of the PS5 by much, right?
No, they won't.
Was it
You're right.
last year or the year before they put it up?
Yeah.
They've just released a new iteration of it. I'm sure there's some room to start bringing that down slightly, but they're not going to release the new PS5 Pro at the same price as the PS5 is now.
This will be like 650 or 699 or something, won't it? Probably.
Oh yeah. So it's coming in what 480? Isn't it? It's 480 for
480, but you know there are
deals.
It's not like solid 480 everywhere.
Yeah,
Now. Like sales are starting to come in. It's bringing the
Yeah.
price down a little bit.
I can't see it being less than 550.
I can't see it being less than 550.
I think 599 or something like that. Like will probably be
699. That would be suicide.
No,
That would be
five-
crazy.
What about
599.
799?
He said, yeah. What about 1299?
I'm up. I'm in for it.
I just don't know how you sell this in the current market, and I've been wrong obviously about this before. I thought the PS5 and the Series X would get off to a very, very slow start, you know, and it turns out I was fucking dead wrong, at least about the PS5, because I thought, you know, it was launched during a pandemic and there was people facing uncertainty with their jobs and stuff like that, and to go out and buy a £500 fucking games console would have been a bit of a stretch. But people did, so there is a big chance that I'm going to be wrong about this. But I don't know how you walk out on stage or present a video where they go, "Here's a slightly better version of a console," which, let's face it, the software hasn't completely blown us away yet.
Yeah.
Like we've not looked at it and gone, "This is a big step up from the last gen," but they want you to upgrade them to better, you know, more expensive consoles. I don't get it. I don't get it.
What if GTA 6 it offers like significant improvements
Here's
like
the
over
thing.
everything else?
Well, it would need to be very significant, and I would think, right, say that happens, right? I would look at that and go, why the fuck have Rockstar done that? Like, what benefits them focusing on a much better version on a more expensive console? It makes no sense. They'll want something that anyone that's got a PS5 or Series X will want to buy, and not feel like they've got the shit version.
I mean, with
It would be
Rockstar,
a
like
stupid move.
I think Rockstar are one of a few studios who actually, yes, they will obviously love the extra power and they'll probably make it look incredible. But you know, look at what they did to get GTA 5 on 360.
360, yeah.
It looked incredible on 360.
Still feels weird remembering that, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, I was like,
that
which
can't be
generation
right.
was it? You know, it was incredible on 360 considering, you know, how old the console was at the time, and they made it look incredible. So actually, I think they're one of the few studios who actually, it will look amazing on PS5, but it's going to look and perform so much better. I mean, like, if I'm thinking, do I want to get this? No. Oh, GTA 6 will be better. Maybe I will. Maybe we'll get one for GTA 6, and maybe they'll be quite, you know, Sony will be quite clever about this and actually, you know, make this like the poster child for the console. So look at this. Arguably, was going to be one of the biggest releases of all time. Certainly most anticipated right now for so many people. And you know, why not make that the reason to get to upgrade? Look at the kind of before and after. Yes, it's going to look great in your PS5. But if you get a Pro, holy shit, look at this. They probably won't
That's
swear.
what's so annoying though, is like because that base PS5 version could be the same, but if I didn't know there was a Pro version, I'd be all right with it. But
Well, that's
knowing
why I
there
don't
is a
think-
better one,
It's
I'll
not
just
in
be like,
Rockstar's interest. It's not
Yeah.
in Rockstar's interest to sell Sony's console for them. You
What
know,
if they got given some money?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I
What if they
can't
got
see
some
how that works.
money
as a-
to
I
like
just can't see
extra
how it
funding,
works.
extra
I
funding
don't
to like, you know, beef it up on PS5 Pro?
I just can't see what the point. It feels more damaging to the game that they want to sell everywhere else. For what? For an advert for Sony?
Oh no,
Like-
no, it won't be more damaging. 'Cause it'll still sell bucket loads on the standard PS5.
Yeah, it
It's
will.
just,
But then, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see them needing to do anything like that.
See, the thing is,
and-
I mean, everyone's obviously saying this is going to give like the 60 FPS probably in like every games and all that. But
We had
I mean,
that at the start of this gen. And
Exactly.
it didn't happen.
but then also, I'm quite happy to just stick performance mode on for most of these things as long as I
Yeah.
get.
What if you
that.
don't have to,
So-
But then,
James?
well,
That's the
I was
thing.
going to say, yeah, but then either you don't have to, or with the base PS5, you won't even get a performance mode anymore. You're just
Yeah.
going to have, or that performance mode will be 30 frames.
It would just be pixel art now
yeah,
on
basically.
PS5.
The, Pong.
I hate this idea. I think this is done because they're following a system and a sort of roadmap that was drawn up 10, 20 years ago, or whatever. They've got to release this console in this certain year, and
What?
really, when you look,
What?
you don't think that this wasn't planned for a while.
What? 20 years ago?
No, I mean,
This
obviously,
isn't national treasure. This is
but
no.
but no, I mean, obviously they plan out the next 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So they would have had this, if it is being released in this year, they would have had that down or penciled in here
Penciled
or
in,
next year
yeah,
or whatever.
sure.
And I think, I don't know, I just don't know how you sell it. I don't know how you sell it to consumers at the moment because what's going to be the unique selling point? I would rather them.
Wi-Fi
I'd rather them-
6E?
What's that?
Wi-Fi 6E? I don't know.
yeah,
Faster
but-
Wi-Fi.
I don't know. And you got to remember as well, I was burnt by the PS4 Pro. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that much of an upgrade. And the only reason why the Xbox One
Yeah, the One X.
X was felt like a massive upgrade was because the one was shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that sort of
And the
brought,
thing,
brought it in line to being a modern console. The one.
And like in terms of, they mentioned like the better ray tracing, I say they, whoever they is, better ray tracing performance. Like the ray tracing stuff that's like blowing people's minds is like the cyberpunk stuff that they added, right? There's like this, I can't remember what it's called now. There's this whole other tier of cool ray tracing tech, but you need to spend like $1,000 plus on a PC to be able to do that stuff. So is this console not going to be like another disappointment? Because it's like, well, it's not actually going to do path tracing. Thank you, Chad, in the chat. Like, it's probably not going to do that stuff still. So are people still going to be like, oh, well, it's not the stuff I've seen the videos of on YouTube still?
What if it does it at a bargain price of just $699 though, instead of £1,000?
Well, that would be genuinely, if you care about that stuff, that's a
The
good
thing
deal.
is with ray tracing, as we know, like there are different levels of it, and the most impressed I've been with ray tracing, which I do think is fantastic. Like I do think it's a game changer. I stick to that. I think it looks amazing. Is in the Spider-Man games. It looks incredible in the Spider-Man games. But there are different levels of ray tracing, right? You can go for ray tracing in the Spider-Man game, or you can go for like a higher fidelity of ray tracing. So the reflections are more that have better resolution. They can bounce off more than one object and all this sort of stuff. But then you go down to 30, and even knowing that higher, I can't really see a massive difference between those two versions of ray tracing. And if it's the slightly shitter version of ray tracing with 60 frames or the slightly better one, honestly, I'm not spending more money just to get both of those, like the 60 frames and the better version of ray tracing. It doesn't mean anything to me because the basic ray tracing that you've got in that Spider-Man game is impressive enough as it is. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it is also going to have what they're calling the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, which is apparently using like machine learning to upscale stuff.
Yeah, this
so
isn't a
similar
big
to the,
thing.
like-
This is like DLSS and AMD's version. And like that's huge on PC. You can get like massive frame increases and performance increases. So that arguably seems like the biggest deal, like the extra headroom or whatever stuff that GPU is doing. Great. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It says here about the detachable disk drive, so I guess that rumor's still going on as well.
Take it to a friend's house.
What do you mean,
Well, then it's
rumours?
the
It's
same. Well, the Slim's got that, hasn't it?
It's already got it.
detachable, yeah.
Oh, of course, it has. Yeah.
I'll tell you one feature that I'd love to see on the PS5 if they actually did some fucking work on their existing hardware, and although it's a software thing. I would love to see them get Quick Resume at some point, or a version of Quick Resume. Because you forget how fucking brilliant that is on Xbox. Like, it's so good. Just like loading up Cyberpunk that I haven't played for 2 months, and I'm just back in the game where I was. It's such a game changer, and they must have been looking on how to do it on their consoles because it's just so fucking good.
I mean,
love
maybe
it.
it's
Like,
features that will come as a result of this hardware improvement and maybe
Mate,
OS improvements.
if they put that in as a selling
But it
point
shouldn't
for the
need
Pro,
a hardware
that's fucking
improvement,
bullshit.
right? Like the Series S
Yeah.
can do it. So it's
Yeah.
not a hardware thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Well, I just think
Matt just wants to do hardware. This is
Yeah.
the problem.
No,
with it.
I don't. I was thinking, it's been nice to not have to buy new consoles. I mean, I guess the OLED Switch was the last one, but for me. But I think I was thinking
Quest
it's
3?
nice and like
Quest
now
3, Matt?
Switch. What's that?
Quest 3?
No, well, I
No?
haven't got one of them. So no.
Not a fan of VR, Matt.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a bit of a fad, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of that,
I'm all about
Next
spatial
news story.
computing, actually.
Go on.
so apparently Sony have hit pause on PSVR 2 production because they've
great
got
con, that,
unsold
isn't
inventory
no shit.
that's piling up. So Bloomberg have reported that that things are not going so well, and they've produced over 2 million PSVR 2 units, but it seems they haven't sold those. Obviously there's been no first-party games announced. London studio has been shut down, which was working on VR games, generally. And according to Road to VR, they tracked like Amazon sales of like the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 compared to PSVR 2, and obviously the Quest is selling significantly more than the PSVR 2. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think
PSVR 2 is still £500.
it's mad, isn't it?
That is insane.
£500 to go with your £480 games console. That is
Or
No
£600
wonder
games
this isn't
console in the
selling.
future.
yeah. No wonder it's not selling. Like that is madness.
I mean,
That's madness.
they're doing this thing where they're testing like the compatibility with PC as well, so that you can connect it up to PC and use it for stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, it feels like from 6 months from launch that it's been in a death spiral, basically. That they're
'Cause
not.
I don't think PC VR people will accept a wired headset
No,
anymore either.
I don't think so either. I mean, why? I mean, why haven't they even tried to get like we don't know. Actually, we have no idea whether they tried to get Alex
No, go on.
on there, like Half-Life Alex and stuff like that on there. But
They
there are
probably did.
there must be more stuff that they could push, but it's just such a shame that there's nothing, it seems, first party coming, at all. And all you're getting is Quest ports and stuff like that. It's there's nothing that's like really taking advantage. And it's such a shame because I mean when I first got it, there's some really impressive, like the tech is very impressive. And then you're just like, yeah, but there's not much coming so much, which is a shame. But I don't know.
Do you want to apologise to Sean for your behaviour towards his?
What is 360p Quest 2? No, I'm alright.
Okay, that's not an
Unbelievable.
apology. That was not an apology. Sorry, Sean. I
Opposite,
tried
isn't
for you,
it?
mate. Okay.
Okay, there's also
Well,
been.
I was funny enough actually. My nephew had his Quest 2 and he was going through. He beamed in it to his telly and he was going through it. He said, "Oh, look at this! This is a first-person shooter game, but it's like Roblox where all you get is the client and then there's loads of mods on there." And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Right, okay." He said, "Yeah, look, here I am in Halo." And I was like, "Holy shit!
Oh.
He's like Master Chief and he's jumping about and shooting like in a
Is
multiplayer."
that, is it Contractors, Matt? That's the one with massive mod support, isn't
That
I mean-
rings a bell.
it? Yeah.
Possibly.
But
I
yeah,
don't
there's
know- I
loads of
don't know
stuff
mods-
that like legally
Oh,
should probably not be.
Yeah,
in
it
like Star Wars
absolutely
shit
shouldn't be on
and-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned around and went, "Now I'm in Call of Duty," and he was in the airport, Call of Duty map, and I'm going, "This is actually what the fuck?" Yeah, you
Crazy.
couldn't get away with that on the PSVR 2. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you can't get away with hardly anything because nothing's come out on it, which is a shame.
Oh.
I mean, do you know there was like
Well,
the
no. So nothing first party has come out for a while.
Yes, yeah,
There's
yeah.
still there's like still 180
Still
games.
loads
on-
of other. Any
headset.
examples you can think of, Matt, of games coming to PSVR 2?
Loads.
Yep. Okay.
Next story.
Okay. So there's also been footage of Insomniac's apparently cancelled live service game, which was Spider-Man:
This was
The
weird.
Great Web.
This was
And-
weird. I had no idea about this.
This was supposed to be a 5-player co-op Spider-Man game with all the multiverse stuff like thrown into it, and it was going to be one of the live service games. Now, I shared with you all a YouTube video of this, which is like a minute long. Did you all watch it?
I watched
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
I know,
I
did you?
loved it.
So did I.
Yeah, well, no, just from it, interesting. Like, you never get to see a demo trailer. You know what I mean? And seeing all the bits and some of it is like all of a sudden it's like there's real sort of voice acting, but then it sort of cuts, and then there's like beta footage with like assets in the background, and then like clearly what is bits taken from another Spider-Man game with just a different character there, and you're going, oh shit, they're just trying to form it together with stuff, cobble it together with the stuff they've got now, so then they can go, here's the trailer, we need to focus on getting these bits, and from a production point of view, it was like a dream to see something in that state, and then it was even funnier looking at the comments underneath it on YouTube, going, well, this looks terrible. And they go, well, yeah, I know. It's
Well,
like,
it was
it's
that,
got
and then
real
there's people
footage,
being like, "We need to start a position. We've got to go to war to get this game released. We've got to tell Sony." But it's like, guys, this probably doesn't even exist.
No, of
like
course
this
it
is a
doesn't.
trailer
Yeah,
that's been
yeah.
like it's a pitch, right? It's
But from the pitch and
I-
like conceptually, I thought it looked really interesting as like
Yeah,
as an
yeah,
idea.
it does. I don't know how you maintain it.
Mm.
Like I suppose you would not, because right. So if you've not seen the trailer, it seems to be a live service, 5-player co-op, Spider-Man game, but where you play as known characters.
yeah,
You know, like, so you've got like Miles Morales and, you know, everyone from Spider-Verse, those films and stuff. And I just thought, actually, the direction you're going to take it if you're going to do that is that you are
make your own
bitten by a
Spider-Man.
spider,
Yeah.
and then you're joining, you know, Miles
Joining all the
Morales'
others,
world
yeah,
or Peter Parker's world or whatever. And then you work on your own Spider-Man outfit and all that sort of stuff. So there's potential there, but I just, you know, when you look at how well Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 has done, they're probably going, let's just save that for something else, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Or did they see all the stink around Suicide Squad and be like,
Yeah,
no, let's
that's
not make
very
that
possible.
mistake?
Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah, and like
There's
Naughty Dog
definitely a
cancelling their
story.
multiplayer game. They're like, actually, why these studios that have been so focused on single player and creating some of the best single player games we've played in years, and they've, you know, sold PS5s because of the quality and experiences they give to players. Why would then they then just like, oh, actually now we're doing live service? That's why Naughty Dog cancelled theirs allegedly, and it makes sense that that's why Insomniac were like, actually, no, why would we do this?
Do you know, I would love for them to release a video now to say, oh, you've all seen this trailer, well, here's the story. You know, we wanted to do this and put it together. This is how far we got into it. Here's the problems we had. I'd love them to do that, but they'll never do that for several reasons. But the main reason would be that it actually actively encourages leaks like this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, no, we get all the information if we leak all this information out, so let's do it.
But but I say it's a shame because it would be a real sort of educational opportunity, especially as I say, looking at the way some people talking about it in the comments. Like, people have no idea how this shit works.
I mean, Sean, it looks feature complete. I mean, it looks
does.
like it's
It
pretty much
does.
ready to go.
It's got all the Spider-Mans in it
Yeah.
already.
Got all of them.
So,
Yeah, you know, I can't wait to see. The concept is enough to get me excited and get me interested. But yeah, you're right. There's a reason why it hasn't seen the light of day, and yeah, I bet there's lots of reasons actually. But shame. Okay,
but in terms of other live services games, Helldivers 2 has done very well. It's had more than 8 million sales, and it's also one of PlayStation's biggest Steam launch games ever. They had like an all-time concurrent of like 458,000, which is
So it's
pretty good.
interesting to me because we obviously we heard figures about like concurrent players, like, oh, the servers can do 700,000 and we're sort of pushing up against that, but then obviously we don't know how many sales that is necessarily. So it's interesting to see that it's 8 million apparently will get you concurrents of about 700,000 or thereabouts. Yeah, no, it's interesting.
But there's also
did you see Edge gave it an 8?
Really?
Just,
8.
oh, come on.
For shilling.
It's like
Come on.
you know. I'm
it's
not being
no
funny,
immortality, is it? I mean,
if you were to give it a 9 and say because there are some bugs here and there, I could kind of understand it, but it kind of embarrassing because this has been like the biggest game of the year. Like, it's been the biggest game of the generation so far. I think there's an argument for that.
I
Isn't
don't think I mentioned this on the show when it first came out and I was playing with randoms. I heard two guys talking very enthusiastically about how it's the first truly next-gen game that they'd played.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking that could you have done this last gen? What blows me away is that the more I play it, the more I just think it's Left 4 Dead, right? It's got so much about it that feels Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And then it reminded me of all those games that tried to do Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And it feels like this didn't necessarily try to do Left 4 Dead, but it's managed to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I
When
think
of
you could have done it
Evolve
last year,
and
but it just
Yeah, I
wouldn't
was
have
gonna
looked
say,
anywhere
Back
near
for
as good.
Blood
Like I think
as
it does look
Back for
like
Blood.
we haven't really talked about how good it looks, right? Like the planets and stuff.
Yeah, there
Most
are
of
times
them are
where
really
it just looks
barren
utterly
fucks, but
incredible.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's,
don't know
it's
what
some
this
game.
isn't doing anything that couldn't be done last gen, is it? I mean, what is there anything, David? You're seeing that couldn't be done? I mean,
I
it feels
don't
like a
know.
pretty standard shooter. They've obviously got all the social aspect, the meta aspect, but I can't see anything that you couldn't be done before.
Yeah, like
the
the stuff that makes
loading-
it good is the design and the feel of it, right? And the sense of humor to an extent. And yeah, I don't think there's
No, I
anything-
do wonder if this could have been done before when you consider the amount of enemies on screen at one time, and then it's also not only dealing with 4 people shooting, but
Mm.
also each of those can have a turret going at once and drones going at once, and there's so much action going on the screen at one time,
Mm.
and it doesn't drop, it doesn't skip a beat. Like I've not seen any frame dropping or any problems with that. It just
Boring-
handles it all.
Boring fact. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but apparently it splits the AI between the 4 players. Have you
Yes,
heard this?
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So
divvies
each
up
enemy
the
could be controlled by someone's PS5, but you don't know who's necessarily. Like it's all, it sort of divides it up between the 4 of you.
That is interesting, actually.
Yeah.
it's some game, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Again, I'm sorry for those of you that have got no interest in it, but it's the first time. It's the first time this gen that I've said to my mates that haven't got that console, you got come on, like this is the one. This is the one.
Mhm.
Yeah, they haven't budged. They have not budged. But yeah, doing well, is it, James?
It's doing very well, yeah. And there's also these rumours there's going to be a third faction added soon, potentially. So
Wow.
that's-
They'll
I-
totally do that.
Yeah.
But there was
we've been
3 in the
talking about
first
it.
game, so
There's 3 in the first game, and they've already hinted at the new faction. It's going to happen. I think they'd be wrong to do it within the next month or 2. Within the next month, maybe 2 months, when it starts like dying down. They've just launched their next premium.
the
Battle
War
Pass
Bond thing.
Yeah. So have you unlocked that yet?
I haven't. No.
Yeah, I've got that. I haven't played it since I've unlocked that, so there's still much to do. But oh god, Helldivers, man, what a game! What a game! We'll be talking about that again in a bit. Another game we'll be talking about is this,
Yeah.
James Farley.
So I mean, this is just a quick one, but I mean, like Balatro has done very well. I mean, it's sold over 1 million on Switch, I think, and it's now coming to iPhone as well.
And
so
Android.
that's,
Why
and
why
Android,
has Android been omitted from this report? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
it's weird, isn't
Every
it?
other headline is like it's coming
take it
to.
up with Video Games Chronicle.
Well, why don't you just use a version of the story that's more accurate, James?
Well, it's. I mean, let's be honest. No one cares about Android games, so it's.
Okay.
Isn't it the most used OS in the world?
It is, but not for games. It's
Okay. Okay. All right. You
Interesting.
just made that bit up.
No. The developers make loads more money on iOS than they do off Android. So
Oh,
that's why.
Yeah,
you
'cause
get,
there's loads more piracy on Android.
yeah, that's why you get.
Oh,
more
right.
games
Not me,
released
though.
on that. Yeah.
yeah. You're famously against piracy, aren't you, Sean?
Yeah,
Are you
no,
still
I've-
paying for that Google Play Pass thing?
They gave me 3 months free, which has probably expired by now.
That's
I
not like a
should
great
really
business
cancel it.
decision.
Yeah. No, this is what's weird about this news is kind of I'm now feeling a bit like, oh well, I'll probably just stop playing it on Steam now then, because I'll just wait for the Android version because that's going to be the one that ultimately I'll put more time into.
I need it to be on Switch. I cannot play the phone version of this because
Really?
it'll kill me. Yeah,
Oh right, because
it'll
too
kill
good.
me. I've just got to have it so I can't just play it during the day or anything.
There has to be a
I've
bit of
got to-
friction like there to make
Yeah.
it.
I need a little bit of separation there. So let's get to. I mean, James, I want you to start. You've got some great games down in front, but in fact, actually, 2 of the games that you've got down, I want to talk about anyway. I spoke about Princess Peach Showtime, the demo, last week. Is the game out yet? Is it out?
It's out this week, I think, at the end of this week.
It's out, right? Okay. Are you still buying it?
I'm not, absolutely not. Not after playing this. I mean,
Right. Thank you.
Oh, dear.
Because there's part of you, and it's the feeling I got when so I text you about it before we recorded last show, and said I think this might be absolutely fucking dreadful, and there was part of you, which understandably so, was kind of like, I'll see about that, Dave. I'll see
Of
about
course,
that.
of course.
Yeah, I
there was
know
that.
a thing or
And
two.
then when
you know what I mean?
Not
also,
listening
David,
to what I'm saying.
also
Yeah, go
when
on.
you said I didn't finish the demo, I thought, okay, that's
Yeah,
he's not
yeah,
giving it a fair
He
shake.
stopped before
you
it
know,
got good.
Yeah.
Go on. How long? Wait, go on. How long did you give the demo?
I mean, I did finish the demo. I
Right.
got through that, and I mean, the start of it's dreadful, isn't it? It's so wordy and tedious, like what it comes up with, and it takes so long before anything happens. And also, I mean, I'm just an idiot because I spent ages trying to get even into the
Same here.
first level. I
Same
couldn't
here.
figure out what I was supposed
I
to do.
did. Yeah.
It's-
See, Isaac had
doesn't
trouble with
make
that,
it
but I
clear.
thought that was just him being 6 years old. But
No,
yeah,
there's a
just
bit
bad.
right. So if you've not played it, there's a bit where Princess Peach is in this sort of like the backstage. Like the whole thing's based around doing shows, right?
Mhm.
And like performances or plays or whatever. And you're backstage, and there are loads of characters. What are they? They're not toads, are they?
No, they're not. I don't know
I can't
what
remember what
they
they
are.
are.
Yeah.
But there's loads of these characters, and you sort of just walking around going, okay, well, do I go through here? And they're going, you can't go down here.
Mm.
And you go, okay, right, what about over here? No, you can't come down here. And you're going, well, where can I go then? You're trying to jump over people. And it's not until you realise you walk up to one of them, and you've got to get quite close before a little icon appears above their head, and you talk to them. There are 3 in about 30 characters on screen
Yeah.
that you need to talk to. The others don't talk to you, but there are 3 of those that you talk to them, and then it activates the next cutscene, which then lets you get into a
But
level.
then also, but it's not clear that that's what it's doing at
No,
all. Like,
not
there's
at
no
all.
indication that that's what it's doing. And so, because
Yeah.
at some point, one of them just goes, "Oh, here's a ticket for you. You can go through to there now." I was like, "Okay." But I spent ages seriously walking around there. I was like, "I've no idea." Where
I
I'm
watched a
supposed to go
YouTube
here."
video of someone playing it to
Yeah.
work out how to get to the next bit. Honestly, so go on. You
So
get to a level, and then
so
what happens?
It's got the weirdest jump sound I've ever heard in a game. Like, did you not notice that, David? It sounds so strange.
We sent us a clip of it. I mean, I didn't notice anything weird
Yeah,
about it.
what's
but-
it sound?
It
like?
sounds
What
like a
does it
spring or something. It like goes boing. That's when she jumps, and it's just kind of weird. It's like
I mean, that feels apt to me, James.
yeah, it's not really what I was expecting. But I mean, the other thing about it is that like I know that this was supposed to be like accessible and easy and everything, but like it has like that dodge counter window like for it, which
Yeah.
is so generous that it's pretty much
Yeah.
impossible to like mess up. So there's no challenge
Yeah.
whatsoever. And you see, I was thinking about this because the whole thing with this is the character changes into like other costumes and stuff like that, and then has different abilities. So there's a slight similarity here with like Kirby, with this idea that you take on this new costume, you get a new ability. But the trouble with this is that you can't do that within it. You're set to one costume for the entire level, so you don't get that sort of like mixing up and matching and then trying different things to get to different areas and stuff like that. It's literally just like you are a sword fighter for a level. And it's not very interesting, is the problem with doing that. And
Well, you start off and you go, "Oh, okay, right, okay. I'm swiping a sword back. This is okay." And then the enemy's moving exactly the same way towards you,
Yep.
slowly like plodding from the foreground of the thing, and you're like, "Well, when are they going to attack me? When do they hit me? Like, at what point of them plodding towards the center of the screen are they going to hit me?" And then you just press the button and they're gone. It's rubbish.
But also it's also got really weird collision detection with that as well, because like a couple of times like there's these vines that you're supposed to cut, and I was
yeah.
like, how close am I supposed to be to these things to hit
Yeah.
them? And then you're just like, oh no, not that close. And it's like even though I was still quite far away,
Yeah,
it was.
It just feels like you're like there's a circle around it, and if you go around a circle, invisible circle, if you go near it, wow. I mean, this is a stinker, right? Or it
Yeah,
feels
I
like
mean,
it.
I mean, after the sword fighting thing, you do this whole thing where you dress up as like a chef doing like cakes and stuff, which is it's like a different gameplay sort of loop that you have, like where you're supposed to like decorate all these cakes. But I was messing these up quite badly and still getting pretty good scores for this. And I'm just
Right.
thinking,
Oh, really?
there's nothing great like here, and I mean, she just doesn't feel nice to control at all, and you really do get the impression that this would be over very quickly. Like this is going to be a very short game, I think, and yeah,
And that's what
what's,
sucks, because I know it sounds like I'm getting on my high horse or whatever, but what sucks is that after the job that the film did, we've got varied opinions on that movie amongst the 4 of us, but one thing you can't argue is that Princess Peach was a good character in that film, right? And off the back of that to then
Sorry,
produce
that
a
she is or
princess-
she isn't.
She is a good character.
Yeah,
You not
she's
think?
it.
She's a
No,
great character,
yeah,
I think.
I think definitely is. Yeah.
And off the back of that, releasing a Princess Peach game that is so half-assed and doesn't feel like it's Nintendo quality at all. You just think, it's kind of like disrespectful to the character in a way.
I mean,
You
it
know
just
what I
feels
mean?
so predictable and so sort
Yeah.
of like, yeah, of course you've done that. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's disappointing. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no way
it
I'm
is
gonna buy it.
disappointing. Yeah, yeah.
But,
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no way, 100% no way.
100% no way. I'm not buying this. It's,
Have Rachel or Asher played it?
I mean, Asher watched it and he just said, "Yeah, this doesn't look interesting," and he didn't want to play it. So yeah, that was it. I mean, Rachel just spends all her life playing The Sims now. She doesn't care about anything else. So that's it. Yeah, she got the vampire
Alright.
pack last week, and she's well into
Oh,
that.
nice.
She's
Good game.
luring people back and changing them. But yeah,
Sounds a bit
Okay.
weird.
That's the Sims for you.
Then the other thing I played this week is I thought I'd give Balatro a chance,
Here we
given that
go.
it's like 12 quid on Switch.
ready,
I
Sean?
I thought that's pretty cheap. And I mean, see, the trouble is, right, is listen to this. It's,
Here
like,
we
it's a,
go.
it's a
Here we
card game, it's a deck builder, and all this kind of stuff.
It's a roguelike.
And yeah, and that really put me off. Like, it so badly put me off when I was looking at the description. But then I listened to like what David was saying about it, and I thought I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, what David was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what David and John Denton were saying.
See, I heard what David said about it, and so I bought it on Saturday, and I've just played it pretty much solidly over the whole weekend because it's fucking brilliant.
It's so good, isn't it?
Excellent.
I was playing it before the show. It's
Turns
have you
out this
completed
really
the run yet?
popular genre is good.
Well, no, it's good for
No,
specific
sure,
reasons.
come on.
And
I mean, come on.
I mean,
No,
this
what,
one's
there's-
good.
Yeah, this one's really good, and and there
Yeah.
are loads of other really good ones.
I
know,
know,
but
but I'm not going to
there's-
play them.
There's aspects to this which give you an instant. There's aspects to this game which gave it an instant in for me, which made it a lot easier for me to get on with, primarily because of the deck. Because this is a deck I can understand without having to do any further
He's using the
reading.
word deck, Sean. We've
Yeah.
we got a new
He's
James
changed.
Farley amongst us.
He's changed.
No, you can see. So I know that a king is better than like a 2 or whatever like that. This is one of the biggest problems I have with most of these other deck builders. Is it's like
So, how many have you played, James?
I've played quite a few, Sean. I mean,
Okay.
I played over the
Do you
years.
know,
I've
do you know what's
tried quite a
fucking
few.
me off
Okay.
even more, Sean?
Yeah.
He called me about this game on Saturday, and we had a chat, and he's just using things that I'm saying.
That's not true. That's not
That
true.
is what
you
I said.
You said we talk about this, and I agreed with you.
David,
Yeah.
did you say, James, a king is better than a 2?
Yes, genuinely. I said
didn't
to
say
him,
that. Yeah, he didn't
right,
say
I said to him, one of the things I think that I'm connecting with this more
that. Yeah.
is that when you've got a king, you know how good that is against other cards in
Like
the
a
deck,
2.
right?
Yeah.
But when I've tried other card games, it's like you've got the Joker. Or no, that's a bad example.
Yeah, that's gonna be a worse
David, no,
example.
what we said, we said.
I
we
said
it's
you've
like,
got a rabbit. No, we didn't say that.
Yes,
I
we
said
did.
it.
No, you said that, and then I said, and I've got a deer. Why is that better than a rabbit?
Bro,
and stuff like that. It was pretty good.
That
They
was just
usually, they
extending
usually
what I
have
said.
like stats on them. You're not
Yeah,
just supposed
I
to
know, but-
intuit from what type of animal it
Yeah,
is. How
but-
good
No,
it
I
is.
get that, and part of playing a deck building game is that you soon learn that, right?
Yeah.
You soon learn what's better, the deer or the rabbit, and sometimes the rabbit is better than the deer in certain situations. Like I get all that, but I think for someone who can't be fucked, going in knowing an ace is better than a 4 is like rather helpful. So, is there anything else I said that you want to nick? From that
no, I think-
Yeah,
conversation?
it's very Philip Moosin of you.
That was
Yeah, it's-
fucking. That was mad. That
David,
was mad.
we went into this. I thought the whole point was we were going to talk about this, and then you're just like,
Oh yes, we would have if you did. I said let's have this conversation again on the show.
Yes, I did.
expecting
I ripped off
I'm
the
going
first
to nick all
part.
the points. I'm
Look,
going to
you
nick all
could
the
have
good
you could
points
have
you
talked
made.
about the deer, and then I could have talked about.
I'm glad you like it though. 'Cause
But no,
it
it's brilliant. And I think one of the reasons is it's so, as I said, it's so easy to understand, and it's so tempting to just keep going. Even after. I mean, I'm terrible at this game. I'm really not that great at it, but I'm still really, really enjoying it. I mean,
What's
one of
the
the
biggest
reasons
point score you've got with like a single hand? What's like
I've
your
only
top?
got up to like like the fifth, like 5 anti, like that's as far up as I've got. And I think that was even on my first go actually, where it felt like it was going easy on me or something. It was. I mean, this is why the reason I called you on Saturday was because I said I'd like to do a stream of this actually, where you can critique me playing this because I know that I'm doing a whole ton of things wrong when I'm playing this, but I'm still really enjoying it. I've been enjoying like collecting like all the different cards, like all the jokers and all that kind of stuff as well. That's been pretty good. But it's brilliant. It's
I can't
so
complete a
incredibly
run
addictive.
though, man. It's killing me. I cannot get to the end of a run. I don't
Really?
know
No,
what's going on.
I've only done one.
Also,
but, yeah.
you said last week, and I don't quite, or maybe it was the week before, Sean. I'm trying to work it out. You were saying it matters in what order you put your jokers.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not
changing the order.
seen that though. I've not seen that because the calculation happens at the end. So the +4 and the ×4 or whatever, that goes into your little thing on the left-hand side, and that builds up,
Yeah,
and
but-
then the calculation happens.
Yeah, but some things multiply your multiplier. They don't add to your multiplier; they multiply it. So if
I've
you've
not
got...
seen one of those yet. I
Right.
don't
Okay.
think.
Yeah. So if you've
Right,
got
right,
something that like doubles your multiplier, you want to make sure you've got all the pluses in first.
Hell yeah,
so
of
that
course,
it's then,
and then you have that at the
multiplied
end.
based
Right.
off like the highest value.
I'm with
So
you.
I
I'm
got-
with you. Yeah.
I just had a look. I got the highest round was 14, and the highest ante was 5.
Mhm.
That's as far as I've got, and like
But-
my best hand was like 9,360, which is
But wait,
pathetic,
if
but-
it's got your multiplying your multiplier,
Mhm.
the way I think it works, I'm not saying you're wrong because I don't know enough about it, but the way I think it works is that it runs through the jokers for each card, and for the overall ones, it just plays them at the end regardless. Is that not the case?
Not necessarily, no. Yeah, because you'll have some jokers that, as I say, will apply like a plus to your multiplier, and then even within the cards themselves as well, you can have ones that multiply your multiplier rather than
Okay.
adding
I'll
to
ha-
it. So
I'll have to have a look at that. But the one thing that I have had is that there are sort of consumable cards, which we've mentioned before, that are like 1 in 4 chance to turn one of your jokers into a foil card, which is like a big deal, right?
Yeah.
When you've got like a foil card like that, but it makes a big difference to your score. The amount of time, I think 1 in 4 chance. I've tried about 80 of them, and they always just go nope, and you're like, fuck you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I've
Does
wondered
it
about
nothing.
that.
I like the banana one. It's very good.
Which
What's
is
the
which
banana
one's
one?
banana again?
It gives you like a multiplier for like I think it's for 4 turns, like for 4 for 4 hands, and then basically then explodes. But the multiplier is incredibly generous, like
Right.
and
Oh
it's
right,
really
yeah,
good.
but then there's also the popcorn and the ice cream.
yeah,
The ice cream gives you like a shitload of cash,
Mhm.
and the popcorn gives you like tons of multiplier. The one that I got that I loved was the knife. Have you used the knife yet?
no,
So it multiplies your score. But what happens if you put a joker to the right of it? It kills that joker and adds to its multiplier. So every time a shit joker comes up, you just put that next to it. It kills it and it adds to the multiplier continuously.
Yeah.
Oh god, it was so good. So there was ones where I was like, yeah, I'm not using this one anymore. I'll move that to the right hand side. It gets rid of it. It adds to the nice multiplier. And then by the end of it, I was like getting times 40 because it was just like constantly doing it. The other good one is you get a multiplier every time you skip a deck, like a pack of cards. So yeah, we've mentioned before, you could buy packs of cards and then choose one from the pack. Like there's some of them where I'm like, yeah, I'm not too bothered. I'll just skip. And then that adds to your multiplier for every get. Oh man, it's so
And
good.
then you reach that point of like, well, do I open a pack just to skip it?
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's
just
all I was
you know.
doing. That's all. I was hammering the skip button before it showed me what cards were in it, just in case I was tempted to go for one of the cards in it. Like probably the wrong way of playing it, but
See, the thing is though, I've got to say that entire discussion we've just had was nothing to do with the standard playing cards.
No, but it just makes
No.
it easier to.
No, why
to...
does it though? Because everything you've just talked
What
about
do
is
you
all
mean,
the sort
why
of stuff
does
you
it?
can grasp in other deck builders.
Yeah, but that's I know. But then also with this, we're already familiar with these cards and with
Yeah,
what.
but we've just talked for like 10 minutes about all the mechanics and stuff, and the standard playing cards weren't mentioned once.
I know because we already understand how they work, so we didn't have to mention them.
No, but all they work is they give you some points.
Exactly. I know, but we know how that works. Whereas with the other ones, we don't know.
Yeah,
Unless
but
you
I'm
spend
saying
a lot
if you
of
can
time
have
learning how
these
to do
sorts of
them.
discussions about jokers, which are made up cards,
Yeah.
you can enjoy other roguelike deck builders.
but I have to learn what a deer does.
No, you fucking hell. Okay. Oh, sorry. You have to read 2 numbers, James.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's just
I
not
mean,
friendly.
He's
Okay.
got a point, James. I mean, for me, that was the key to get me in. Right,
Yeah.
that's the difference. That was the key to get me in. But
I'll
now
tell
that I've seen what I'm enjoying about this, that maybe it is going to open things.
The other key for me was that I heard that it was a lot like Inscription as well, and so yeah.
Right, so
That's
just
another
on that, I
contentious
just think the logo and the use of kind of like slightly pixelated, slightly glitchy graphics at a point that kind of reminded me of some aspects, the tone of
Glitchy?
No, not really.
yeah, it's kind of like CRT, kind of like that kind of level of glitchiness.
Yeah, I just thought that was trying to mimic video poker.
I mean,
Like,
it probably
it's
is,
just
but
such a
just I
distinct
saw that
look.
and just felt bits of a little bit of Inscription. So sue me, all right? Nothing wrong with that.
Very contentious point. Balatro, very good game.
It is excellent.
There's another game that you and Matt picked up this week that we won't dwell on, but it is my favourite game for fuck it since Titanfall probably. So go on.
I mean, yeah, I got Helldivers too, and
Right,
I
okay.
played it. Yeah.
I also
Matt,
got
we'll
it.
get to you. We'll get to you. But James, I want to know who you played with, how much have you played, and what do you think?
I've only played. Okay, so first of all, I've only played with randoms. I played with nobody I know yet at all.
That's
Um,
got to be so fucking jarring.
It's not too bad actually. It's not as bad as you would think because people. I
Right.
mean, apart from one game I had where they all had like mics on, and it was like it sounded like a dad playing with his kid, and it was like, yeah, quite annoying, honestly. I'm sure they're having a great
Would-
time, but I found
This
it
is
entertaining.
this is something that doesn't get mentioned about the PS5 enough. You forget there's a fucking mic in that pad all the time, and when you're playing, I'll quickly have a game of Helldivers. You turn it on. That mic is on by default.
Yeah. You
unless
can turn it-
go
you
into
can
the
change the
systems.
setting though.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I've done that. But I've never had to do that before. And there was several times where I was like, yeah, all right, okay, no, right. And I looked over and the little speaker thing's next to my thing, and
Yeah.
it also does Sony's like party system does this as well. If you're in a party, you can still hear the in-game chat
Really?
at the same time.
That's a terrible
It doesn't
idea.
take you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, sometimes it's okay because, like, when Ian and I were playing, and some guy was going, "Hello, hello," like some random hello. So, I just need to. And we were like, "Should we get out of the party chat to talk to him?" You know, and when we did, and we had a nice time or whatever. But I like make sure you've got your controllers set to mute by default, which should be the ultimate default. Like that should just be the thing.
See, I
Because
didn't
my
know
word,
that.
forgetting that.
Because normally, like on my pad, it's always like orange because it's just on mute,
On mute, yeah.
always. And then, like, then I noticed I was like, hang on, that's not on mute. I didn't switch that off. What's going on here? So it's just
Yeah, it's
I
on
guess
by
the game-
default. It's
Yeah.
terrible. But anyway, right. So you've been playing with randoms.
Yeah. I mean, I played over the weekend. I mean, I've only got to I'm like cadet level 6, so not really
Oh, that's
like
pretty good.
not
alright,
that
yeah,
far in
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
a decent chunk.
But I played a bit. But you see, the thing is I was really enjoying it. And one of the things that I've done with it, I mean, I've taken so many like screenshots and videos while playing this game, like more than I have done for anything for ages.
Yeah, the video you put on Threads is insane. Like, it's
It's-
really fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like like diving backwards and
So
like just
you can put videos on Threads. Could you always do that? Am I thinking of Blue Sky?
And then you couldn't at the beginning, but now you can.
Right.
But you have been able to
Sorry,
for a while.
guys.
But I've enjoyed that aspect of it, but I do want to play with some people I know because I'd also like to learn more about how the whole thing works because I don't really understand fully, with this. But
I mean, the thing is, playing with friends, you could learn stuff, but there might also just be more bullshit, which is which is part of the fun. But yeah,
I mean, one of the things that I think is really cool is that whole thing of like using your controller to like, the input
commands.
prompt. Yeah, the input
Yeah, I love
prompts.
that too. I think
That's
that's
so
great.
cool. Like, it's such a good idea that
Stratagems,
like when you're for that, but also like when you're having to like activate like machinery and stuff like that, or the the evacuation and things, and it's just that's
I
such a
love the
good
fact
idea.
that people are creating custom, like, arm plate things. Like getting decks. You know, the fucking Elgato deck thing?
Steam Deck,
Like,
yeah.
strapping
Stream
that
Deck.
to their arm and putting the stratagems just on one button, so you're pressing one stratagem button and it does the code for you.
Seriously.
But also having the arrows so you could type that in for the terminals and stuff. It's just, honestly, I love it. The social media, I mean, it might just be my TikTok, right? But social media around Helldivers has just been brilliant. Like, it's just so fun. There's so many. I watched one of, like, it was like one of those green screen ones. It was a character from a show. I didn't recognize it, but it was like when your wife goes to bed and she also asks you to go to bed, but you just can't stop looking, and he's like looking over, and then like the Helldivers theme comes on. It comes on with like the Helldivers logo on it, and he's looking around. I'm like, that's me fucking every night now. Like, all I'm thinking about is that, like, shooting down into that planet and shooting shit. Oh god, like, the dressing around it is genius. The whole we're at war but we're all being lied to. It's so easy to buy into because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's stupid and it's fun to like pretend to be part of.
It's interesting because it doesn't take itself seriously, but also like the thing that it's satirizing is very real. Like they're not. Do you know what I mean?
Propaganda and everything.
I mean,
Yeah,
I loved that when they just talked about managed democracy.
democracy.
That's such a brilliant line. That is. It's like...
Yeah.
We were having a big argument about the law behind it. A sort of big argument, bit of a discussion about it a couple of weeks back about if it's a new person every time you die and
so
a
they
new one comes down
confirmed
from space.
Oh no, sorry. No, so what they confirmed was because people were saying, like when you enter a new ship, you kind of get unfrozen, right? The players were like, "Oh shit, are we just like being cloned?" So apparently not. So that is just like a fudge for the sake of it being a fun game, But apparently Helldivers are not told that the average life expectancy is 6 seconds.
Right, okay, fine. But then how do they have my exact uniform every time? No, that was Ian's point, and I kind of agree with
It's
it.
a different voice, though, isn't it? Isn't it a different voice? I think didn't John say
only if you have it set to random, you can set it to the same voice. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you have done a few missions, but you want to know, right? So Matt bought it. He did the tutorial, then he came on the Judge of Judgment, and I said, right, and this is what you need. Right, here's this terminal. This is what you do at this terminal when you're ready. Here's the currency you need to spend, and here's how you get that currency. Over at this terminal here, this is what you do for this. This is the currency you need here. Press square. This is just your fucking shit that you unlock, right? With medals, and you get medals for doing this. And then I took him through each piece. How anyone gets by in that game without having an introduction? Because it's.
I had that. I mean, that tool is really useful because I did a tutorial, but even the tutorial doesn't teach you a lot of stuff. It teaches you the very basics of gameplay, but not even all the kind of minutiae of gameplay. But it certainly doesn't really walk you around the ship. So you're like, where do I go? What is this? I mean, it's not a huge ship, of course.
What is a stratagem?
Stratagem,
what's a good stratagem? All of that stuff there's so much to learn, and so it felt like the perfect introduction to the game when you started, Matt, because we did 2 medium difficulty missions just to get you to the feel of it,
up to speed,
get you used to up to speed and stuff. And then John came on, and John doesn't play anything underneath challenging, which is fair enough actually, because medium is too easy.
Yeah, especially.
And then we did challenging, and we did one of the egg ones, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we got to the point where we were all right up against it as the ship was landing to pick us up. All of us were just going nuts and trying and getting overridden. By
I really didn't think I was going to survive that last bit. I think all of us are like.
It got to the point where you just stop shooting, right, and you're just running around the
away.
extraction site, trying to run away from all the bugs. And we all extracted. And as we were flying away, I was like, if Matt doesn't see why this game is so good now, then he should probably stop playing it.
Yeah,
but
and it was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I haven't only seen little bits and tried to understand what it's about to actually experience it. And like I think you might have said on other previous social posts on here, like so many bits of it feel like a movie, like where you jump out of something at the exact that second there's like an explosion or someone's put a stratagem down, like whatever the name of the thing where it's called, like the beam down and blows everything up. There was a bit near the end of the level me and John were doing where loads of enemies were coming and John was about to save me, and then I'd already like put the stratagem down to do, was it the orbital laser? and like he just like blew everything away, and John's like, yeah, that's class. just seeing it at the exact right moment, like blowing everything up, and then like whatever that huge explosion thing that you were dropping all the time, David, and like look,
Yeah,
you get back,
I've
Matt.
got
This
the
is
voice of
massive.
the
Like, how big is it really? Like, holy shit, it's all fire everywhere.
Yeah,
I
I
look,
got
there's
one of
fire.
one of those massive bombs that you're only really supposed to use on the Titan Biles or the tanks or whatever, and it
Oh,
is
man.
just insane.
Those tanks. See, for the first one of those I did, I had no idea how you're supposed to destroy those. And the people that I was playing with also had no idea. We just spent ages just chucking grenades at them. And then it's like, yeah, that doesn't work. And yeah. They're great.
Yeah, you've not done the robot mission yet, have you, Matt?
I wonder, one of the ones that me, you, and John was supposed to be Robot one, but I don't remember seeing any on that, so I guess it wasn't.
No, it wouldn't have supposed to be. If it was a robot mission, you'd know it was a robot mission.
Okay, I thought we
Because
selected that, but I guess not.
fucking
No, I
terrifying.
haven't done it yet. No.
For starters, you just get shot at all the time. It's honestly, it's wild how different that game feels like when you're working on when you've been doing bugs for so long. Then you go and you're like, what the fuck? They're firing back. What is going on here? Yeah, what a game. We're gonna bang on about it. I'm sorry, but it just made me think of towards the end of last year, and I was going, it feels like there needs to be something new. There needs to be a new PUBG. You know what I mean? Like a new, holy shit, everything's a battle royale moment. I think this might be it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
Well, this is an extraction shooter essentially, isn't it? For all of it.
Which is fascinating because that stuff was all in the first game ages ago. But obviously, we had no name for it then, and it wasn't really a genre at that point. But yeah, it's basically because there's that constant. Oh, do we push for another objective or do we just get out? Like,
So this is part of like Tarkov, and like arguably the Division did some of this, and there's been other games that have done it, but this is so I don't think this is the start of anything necessarily.
I think, but it there's been PUBG made that sort of game series, that battle royale concept. It presented it in a way that set it above everything else, right? And I feel that this is doing like you say, Division is a very good comparison, I think. And the problem with the Division is that it did get boring, and it at times was very tedious to play. Whereas this is just not tedious at any point.
And that one of the reasons for that is because with the Division, it was all about leveling, and you had to be at like the right levels to be able to like take on like certain missions and stuff. With this, I don't think it doesn't feel like that. This just feels like when I'm fighting like against different enemies, I don't feel like I'm under leveled or there's no way I'm going to be able to defeat
No, you never
this.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, like the default kit is fine. Like, I mean, I'm sure like high level players would be like, no, fuck, that's all noob shit. But you can get by.
And you can share
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
the
that.
first
That's
time Matt
so
played,
good.
I was like, "Here's a guard dog. Go on."
The fact that you, as a high power player, can share your high power stuff with me, and I get to test it out before I move at a level. That's such a genius move. I mean, like we've had games like Destiny for years, where like if you're playing with someone who's just starting, they have rubbish stuff. You got like incredible stuff you've got from raids and meetings there and buying stuff over months or years. Whereas this, I love the fact you can share it because it means everyone gets to play and gets to find out what they like and don't like. They're not stuck with the basic weapons. That's just such a. I mean, this game, I can't even think of many other examples, but it's so frictionless in so many ways. Like just the fact that you can pick up someone else's gun, or like what those the green things you can pick up. The samples, is it the samples in game?
Samples, yeah.
So there's some, and if you pick them up, they're a currency. I think you can upgrade your ship maybe with them. I'm not sure. You can upgrade something with them, and there's a set amount of these in each level. And if you're playing with your mates, it doesn't matter if I pick it up or David picks it up or Sean or James. Like that, we all get them, and like that's not like you're not fighting or rushing to get it before your mate does. Again, it's like another way of being quite frictionless, and they're doing everything they can to make it as easy as possible to play and enjoy. And just that one that I've had an absolute blast, and I do want to get back to it.
Please release this for Xbox, Sony, if you're listening, please. I know you don't like them, and I get it, but also I just want to be playing with some mates and that. Please, please.
I'm sure they're working on it now. I mean, it's such a massive seller.
I don't know. It's a PlayStation Studios release. isn't it? Or Sony, I can't
but
remember.
so was MLB The Show or whatever, and that was
That's
on-
true.
Destiny 2 as well. You know that they kind of own that now, and that's
Yeah, but they're not
going
going to pull it from Xbox now
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Sony own
no.
it.
There's no way they're releasing this for Xbox. I just
Mm.
wish they would, because my word, that is a. I mean, this is this like we've been telling our friends to buy a PlayStation to get this. There's they would have seen an uptick in sales
Mhm.
of their console off the back of releasing Helldivers. They're not
Mm.
going to release it on Xbox. Shame. They
Yeah.
fucking should.
But no, excellent game, and we've all got it now, so we should probably try and do a stream of it, shouldn't we?
Oh man,
Yep.
let's absolutely do a stream of it. I'm up for that.
100%.
Oh god, yeah, well up for that. Okay, cool. James, you've got one more game on your list. Settle down, everyone. Get ready for James.
Just before we get into this, James, just before we get into this, there's one since you're last on, and now you finished Alan Wake 2, but you hadn't talked about the ending, right?
No, I don't think I did.
But
Or did
you
I don't remember.
No,
Yeah,
I think
did, yeah.
last time you were on, you hadn't quite finished it. I don't think, unless
Oh
I'm.
yeah, he was
Mm.
right at the very end. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you did finish that, right?
I did finish it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's very good.
that's all I need to know.
It's
That's all I need to know.
very good.
Okay.
game, But yeah. So I've also been playing Infinite Wealth as well, the new Like a Dragon game. I mean, I'm only 4 chapters into this so far, which is not really that far. And I mean, this one is slightly different in that this follows like Ichiban to Hawaii. So the whole game is mostly set there. It would appear, although I think it's the opening 2 chapters are still set in Tokyo, and then you move off. But that's like setting all the groundwork and everything. And the whole point is you're going there because you're investigating like a lead related to family, etc. But changing up the location has been really good. I mean, the thing is, the structure of the game hasn't changed like at all. Like it's still pretty much exactly the same as the first Like a Dragon game. But I think it being in a different environment, there being different things to see. The fact that you could swim in this, that's another something else you can do is go down to the beach and see what's going on. And they've also got this really weird thing where you can you're supposed to make friends with people by going around saying aloha like that, and then he does this thing with his fingers, and then it makes friends with them on this app that you've got, which then levels up your persona and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting. And I mean, it's not really a problem that the structure hasn't changed, but it's still a turn-based game, which is still which still does bother me, honestly, because although the characters that I've come across so far they've introduced are pretty interesting, I still don't particularly enjoy the turn-based side of things. But it does feel like they've streamlined it even further with this one, especially once you get a couple of levels above the general people that are just milling about. You could do this new thing called Smackdown, where as soon as you hit somebody, the random battle starts, and you just press L2, and then it basically just does the whole thing for you, and it's over really quickly.
Okay.
And it's this is a way that you can quickly sort of level up against very low level characters and stuff. And it's just one of those things where you're yeah, that's a good idea. I can see where they've done that. But then
It's
it
a
also
workaround for a problem.
exactly.
That shouldn't be
It's
there,
still
though.
Yeah, it's
demonstrating that
admitting,
this,
the fighting is boring. Sorry.
yeah,
His auto battle mode. Yeah.
it's still demonstrating that this whole structure of turn-based battling, they still don't really have an idea how to make it very completely satisfying. Apart from those people that enjoy sitting there grinding for hours so they can get to level 99. And I know there are people that enjoy that, but I am not one of those people. But yeah, that's one of the things. But I think one of the reasons why so far I'm enjoying this a lot is they chuck so many different game modes at you, so many different options. But it's all is completely optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff. It's it introduces this new game mechanic, and you're oh, that's with before the Cabaret Club stuff, Sean, and they did before, where it's yeah, they introduced that, but you don't have to do it. There's not a whole thing, and this is just the same. And some of them are pretty funny. I mean, there's there's this dating thing that you get into as usual, with these kind of games, and it's great. I really like that sort of option to it. But I think one of the things that is best about this is because Ichiban as a character is quite different to Kiryu. He's not anywhere near as serious at all. And so I think the way that the series always works is you have usually the serious mainland story, and then you have the sub stories that all the wacky stuff and all that. And it worked with Kiryu to the sense that when you have him, it's kind of he's the fish out of water in these scenarios, and like he's very serious, even though it's ridiculous stuff's going around with him. But the trouble is you can only do that so many times before it starts to get a bit like, yeah, I can see where this is going. Whereas with Ichiban, his character is so much more sort of open and sort of like energized about being involved with things that it feels like those like wacky stories it lands a lot better like with him maybe just because I've played so many of these, it just feels refreshing to have a different take on these kind of stories. But also the more serious stuff as well from like the mainline story is also pretty good.
Doesn't that get like does that get tired, that approach? Do you get to the point where it feels forced, where it's like because it's always been the main story, and even the ones that I've played, the main story very serious and then the wacky shit around it. Is there ever a time where you just think, oh, you're just trying to be wacky now, like because this is a side quest rather than
I don't think so. And I think it's mostly because they really land like most of the time, like with this they completely have like, and they sort of riff on stories that they brought in the first game into this one. Like there's this one, I mean, everyone's seen like the screenshots of like the Yakuza like guys all dressed up in like nappies because they've got like this whole thing about how they just want to be kids again, and it's like a weird fetish like kind of thing that they're into, like of doing this. And it's like then you come across them again in this one where, I mean, this is a spoiler, but it's not. It's a sub story. So you see like this like
Don't write in.
No,
please don't.
Like Ichiban's in this this like shopping mall, and then he sees like a baby's like pram like falling down like the stairs, and he's like chasing after it, and then like he like eventually manages to stop it after a long chase around the city, which is completely ridiculous. And then like you look inside, and it's this man like just in there like just like wearing a nappy, and it's like, oh, it's you again, and they just have like a conversation like it's like completely like nothing, and there's just loads of stuff like that, which is pretty funny. But also there was something that happened. I mean, I told Dave what it is, and he wasn't that impressed, but there's something that happens at the end of chapter 3, which is like, as somebody who has played all of these games like pretty much so far and seen how these characters are developed, it was a bit of a gut punch like what happens to me. I was watching it and I was just like, no, like that's really upsetting. And I can't say what it is obviously because it'll totally ruin
it
everything.
sound like they just chucked it out there.
No,
it's like, we need it.
The way it's done is pretty good actually. I was quite impressed, and I mean I'm enjoying playing this, but I'm enjoying playing it. It's I just wish that it wasn't a turn-based game. That's the only thing, which is a problem because that's the entire thing is based around that, and I know that it's going to be a problem, and I know that in a couple of weeks' time I'm going to be like, I'm not the right level. I've got to go somewhere, and I'm going to have to grind somewhere so I can just see the rest of the story.
Is it like, do you just fundamentally not enjoy that sort of battle system, or is this just not a great version of it?
I mean, I've played quite a few turn-based games, and I think this is a good version actually of it. It's the grind that I fear because I know that it's coming at some point, and that's if you have like a game like this and there's no grind, I'd be much happier with that. But I know it's coming. And it's just disappointing.
Was it the previous game where you had to grind by going up and down and block of flats or something?
Yeah, there was a part in the first game where you had to like, there was like a Colosseum or whatever you could do where you just had to keep basically doing the same fight over and over again to like level up your character so it was good enough to like do the end. And it's just like, I don't know, it just feels so artificial to me, like doing that. It just and that's why I liked the non-turn based like regular sort of brawling ones, because it didn't feel like there was that like not skill cap, but just sort of grind to it really in the same way. But
Is this game more wacky than the others? Because obviously all the stuff I've seen, I haven't not played all the others, and I know that as David said, like it was serious and wacky, but it feels like with the location, have they got it even more wacky, or is it basically more the same? It just works because the environment is kind of out there as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's any particularly more wacky than the last Like a Dragon at all. It's just maybe the environment is just because it's different, but it's pretty cool. It's a good game.
You heard it here first. Not as wacky. It's not more wacky.
Pretty cool.
It's as
wacky. It does look awesome. So many people. I mean, this one reviewed really, really well, didn't it? Like it's probably the best it's reviewed. So, but it'd be madness for me to start this one.
the engine they're using for this, 'cause it's like the Dragon. I think it's the Dragon engine. I can't remember that they use for making these. And it's like I remember when that with Yakuza 0 when I first played that, I was like, this looks incredible. Like it looks so good. But then now it's starting to look like the main characters. They all look fantastic, but the NPCs really don't look great. Like often
Really?
it's like going between PS4 to like PS3, like almost like in terms of like quality.
So even with Yakuza 0, I remember that because like some of the main characters, you'd be like, oh my god, you can see like all the pores in his face.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. But then everyone else looks like shit.
Yeah.
Everyone else just like a blue square.
Yeah. But it's good. It's a good game.
All right, and that's all you've got for us this week.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say
it.
all you've got. That's plenty.
That's
That
all
is
I've got.
plenty.
Lot there,
Matt, anything we've not covered?
Well, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I feel like I've finally had time and some brain space to actually play it properly. And so the first major large area I go to is called the Grasslands, and I could not stop playing until I'd done every single possible thing 100% in the Grasslands. There were a bunch of like side missions. There's also enemies to scan, and there are kind of enemies to discover, material to discover, all these sorts of things. And I just did not want to stop playing. And I was messaging Sarah today saying that I fully kind of get it now. I just wanted to. It wasn't the most.
I don't need you anymore, Sarah.
No, I was just saying like, I haven't.
Mummy, wow, I'm a big boy now.
I was like, there has been no more story, but I'm somehow like 21 hours in, and I'm on chapter 3 now. But because basically I spent like 15 plus hours just doing all this stuff in the open world. And from like all the chocobo racing and then going around collecting all the materials, something about it is just compelling and has made me want to just not stop playing and making sure every single possible thing in the area is done. But now I'm in chapter 3, and I think there's gonna be some story stuff soon potentially. I'm not sure, but kind of didn't. Even though I'm 21 hours in, there's been like only a few cutscenes right at the beginning, and then one other cutscene. The rest has literally just been open world, kind of adventuring and killing of enemies and stuff.
Is that? Because I don't remember enough about the original to really say, but is that representative of like this bit of the original game? Because remember, obviously, it kind of opens up. And it's like, you can go wherever you want.
So when you get out of Midgar and you're in like I can't remember. I don't know if it's even called the Grasslands, but you're in this huge grassy area where you can go to different towns and whatnot. But it wasn't. I guess it opens up a lot more, and so that's why this is represented in that way. But now I'm in the mines, and so it's going to get a little bit more streamlined, I think. But what I gathered is going to be like story, then huge open world area or open zone area as they're called in this. Then more story, a bit more linear and open zone. But I'm so glad I finally found time to properly get into it, because I've been finding hard to kind of concentrate or focus on the game recently. But just had a few hours, played it, and I'll kind of wait to play more. The fact that I'm only 20 hours in and only on the start of chapter 3 means this is probably a 100-hour game for me. But maybe I won't want to do every single possible checklist when we go to other areas. But yeah, I'm loving there's a new thing in this game compared to Remake we call that synergy abilities, where depending on the relationships of you and the other people in your party, you can do different moves, and also depending on like the power and ATB things you've done in battle. But those are really, really good. So you get like your moves, you can control the other players by switching or just setting them to do their own shots. But then at various points you can have synergy abilities and larger synergy abilities. There's always something cool to do, and certain enemies are affected or staggered or pressured a lot more if you do a synergy ability. So what that means is you're doing a bunch of the various side missions will help like you and Tifa, or you and Aerith, or you and Barrett, or whoever you got in your party. So all of them are helping. I think I'm not sure if I'll be get opportunity to do more with certain characters and less with others. Maybe if I look at the various side missions, I can just focus on them. But if I'm doing everything, I don't know how it's going to work specifically. But it's still really, really good if you're in a heat of battle and then like the synergy like move or whatever, like the thing lights up, and then you and another character get to team up and wreck shop. It's fucking brilliant.
I love it when the things light up.
Yeah, it's really
what
good.
we're
Yeah,
all
and
in
I'm
this
still about
gaming
Queen's
business
Blood.
for.
Queen's Blood's still really, really good. Like buying extra cards now to increase my deck and change how the deck works. It's bloody brilliant. I'm excited to play more.
Has that
Cool.
cat turned up yet?
Haven't seen the cat yet. It will, but haven't seen the cat yet. I haven't seen the cat yet.
Cool.
Disappointing.
Cool. All right.
Very cool.
Nothing for you, Sean?
No, I think I'm allowed to say I have been playing Dragon's Dogma 2, but it's under embargo. Sorry to be that prick. But yeah, next
No,
week.
you're not.
I mean, Sean,
No, I'm really
Sean-
excited to be that prick. I'm just sorry to communicate being that prick. Do you know what I mean?
We don't get to be that prick often, do
No,
we?
it's true.
No.
Sean,
These
Sean,
days.
say nothing if you think it's terrible.
Well, obviously, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do that.
You
I
got
mean,
him there. What a foolproof plan.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, for me to talk about it this week, we'd have to like delay the pod, and we decided that's not worth it.
No.
Because people would be very upset at us.
But I'm
yeah,
excited
next
to
week.
see the reviews because the previews were really, really good. So
Yeah,
let's,
yeah.
if the reviews, I mean, yeah, if this is like 10, so it's going to be another game those people get, having not, I mean, I didn't play the previous one. Did the original one sell well, or was it more of a cult?
Yes, over time.
Right, okay.
Because it did like didn't do amazing at first, but then like over the last decades, I think it's like 8 million copies, something like that. But yeah, it was very much a slow process, which is why they finally got the sequel greenlit. But yeah,
Imagine, right, if like we all went into this year thinking, oh, this is going to be bad this year for gaming. Like the games are going to be bad, and there's not much going to be.
Well, it's less that, it's
Imagine
more
if
like we
this
didn't
is
really
like-
know.
Turns out to be the greatest year of gaming of all time. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma is a 10, and then Helldivers is an 8 according to Edge.
And
Then
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was really good.
Pluck-
And yeah,
Wow. Plucky Squire is turns out to be the greatest game ever made. Yeah,
it feels like a
that's it.
stronger first
Okay.
quarter than it was last year.
I was gonna. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think this year's
definitely.
going to be very front loaded. But I think already it's been a good one. which is
It has
wild.
been. It has been. Questions? Sure.
If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co/Dear TCGS. While you're on the website, why not buy a t-shirt? Rafi says, hey guys, I totally get what David was trying to say in terms of wanting to be the first to tell others about cool shit. I have the same issue, and it can be a nightmare when I accidentally show someone something when I misjudge their interest. I've
Yeah.
tried to stop doing it so often because I hate myself each time a little bit. I once
Yep.
discovered the person I sit next to at work had not seen or heard of Flight of the Conchords. Considering they're a fan of Auntie Donna's house, I thought this would be up their cup of tea and showed them a YouTube video which they seemed to like. Months later, I found a copy of the first season in a charity shop for £1 and picked it up to give it to them. The response was, I don't own anything that will play a DVD. I said, okay, well, if you do get one, give it a watch. For an entire year, they've used the DVD case at their desk to prop up a small USB desk fan. I know they would love it, but their lack of technology to play it scares me. I'm thinking about trying to get them a Secret Santa this year and then buy them a bloody portable DVD player.
Oh
I
my
feel-
god! Imagine that.
I
They will
feel
never
like-
talk to you again.
I feel like this might be weirdly passive aggressive.
Yes.
What has been the most embarrassing time you attempted to introduce someone to something? Thanks for the show. Oh, also, Sean's all right. Size 14 shoes, boxers, but stretchy ones. I'm not listening to the podcast while on the toilet. Thanks,
Good to
Rafi.
know. I'll put it on the spreadsheet. Thanks, Rafi.
I've had several times where I've gone, you've got to check this out, and that person's gone, I told you about that. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I'm
I've
saying
had that
check
a
it out
few times.
again because
Yeah.
you might have forgotten how
Yeah,
good it
exactly.
was first time.
Revisit it. Yeah.
Yeah, it also goes hand in hand with when you're that sort of person, like myself and Sean. It also goes hand in hand where you do not like people recommending you stuff because you're just kind of like, oh, check it
I'm
out.
the one who
shut up."
decides.
Yeah,
I
I'm the
recommend-
one. You've misjudged your role in this relationship.
I am the gatekeeper.
I'm the
Yeah,
recommender.
for
You're the
sure.
recommendee.
I think for me, it's more just knowing that I'm fussy about things. I mean, someone recommends something to me, I'm just like, but if I don't like it, that's the situation I've got to navigate. And
Yeah, I've got to lie or say, I love that.
Whereas
show."
obviously everyone will like all the things I recommend because why wouldn't they? Like,
Yeah. The other one was there was a guy at work, an older guy at work, who liked blues music, and I misread that he likes the blues, which is, I think in my head, I might not be factually correct here for music fans, but in my head, blues music is dum 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 dum, you know, that sort of music. Whereas the blues is someone that sounds like they're down in the gutter and just
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So I said, listen, you got to listen to the album Bubblegum by Mark Lanigan. It is unbelievable. Like that is, there's a song in it called Wedding Dress, which is literally, oh god, it gets me every time. It's literally a man proposing to his, you know, his girlfriend, but he hates himself so much that he sees it like he wants her to marry him, but he sees it as a curse, and it
Right.
is honestly, it's like gets you inside and sort of grabs you, and you, oh god. So I burnt him a CD of this album, or I gave him my one. I can't remember now.
We didn't
And
have
then
anything to play it on.
No, he turned up on Monday and he handed it back. And I went, oh, did you like it? And he went, no. So I ran, okay. Completely misjudged that. So I just went back to my desk and put that song on and cried for a bit.
But then also nice that they felt they could just say that to you.
Yeah,
rather
just
than
so
lying,
I
like,
sort
yeah.
of appreciated that. No, I didn't.
I haven't got any like really embarrassing ones. I recommended a colleague recommended she should try. I think you should leave, which don't really know it. Like, well, because we get on and like you know she's quite funny, so I was like, yeah, this is a safe recommendation. And the next day she was like, yeah, watch the first episode. Bit weird.
Oh, yeah, you
Yep,
go,
that's-
oh,
Yes,
no.
it is. Yes, it is. That's sort
Yeah,
of
there
the
was-
point. But
There's some people that just go, like Joe, for example. Joe doesn't like. I think she should leave, and she just goes, "It's just shouting," and I'm like, "Yeah,
I know,
you're
actually,
right.
it's actually really clever. Actually, if you
No, she's right. It is just shouting, but for some
it's about
reason,
social anxiety. Actually,
Have you
For
recommended
some
that
reason,
person
so-
watch Nathan for You, Sean?
no, I haven't.
yeah, that might be a
Is this
step
one
too
where he's
far.
about to have his trousers unzipped?
Yeah.
Why do they keep showing Santa Claus getting guns out of the closet? God, I need to rewatch all of that. That was too
yeah,
good. That show.
same.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't have any embarrassing stories because I think one, I'm not as militant about it, and also if you push someone and say watch this, listen to this, like, they're not going to want it. They're going to push back. So
Yeah,
I might say, have you watched that thing? Okay, that's it.
that's because you're a
that's what you
normal
get.
person that has that control, and I
Yeah.
just haven't.
And
I just
respect
haven't.
for other people's feelings.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one. Listen to this. Shut up, Dave. Leave us alone. God.
Excuse me, just did a little burp. Poorly timed. Biff Sprinkles, attorney at law, says, given the Oscars have recently been and gone, have there been any updates on the Good Doctor's screen debut? We haven't talked about this, have we?
Oh shit.
No.
Okay, right. So let's explain. We did I was thinking about this the other day. I thought this was such a good idea. We did, what was it called? There was a name of the stream that we did.
Yeah, James.
For your
came up-
consideration.
Oh,
for
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
Consideration.
consideration. What we all had to do was find something on Kickstarter and bring it to the table. Do you remember what mine was?
No, what was
It was
yours?
the boat car submarine, which was one vehicle, and it was just the guy had no ideas. He just went, it's sort of a boat car, and it's done by, you know, like some of the words he was using wasn't making sense. And
But
then
no,
we found out on the stream that he'd tried to sell this on Kickstarter.
Yeah, before.
Like
Fine
5
times.
times before.
But the best thing also was the fact that he wouldn't give like any details because he didn't want anyone to steal the idea because he thought it was so good.
And he kept plastering boat, car, submarine in
Yeah.
different fonts all over his video, so you couldn't actually see what was going on, right? James's one was a pitch for a horror movie, and we found a tier where you paid £100 and you could be in the horror movie. So we paid that £100 out of your money, Patreon subscribers. And they just took the money, and we never really heard from them again.
No. There's a cut of the film.
No, there isn't.
Yeah,
I mean, there might
I've
be,
not followed
but
this.
but
why have we
well,
done a
James isn't in
talks
it.
over of it?
but
Crucially.
James isn't in it. That's what I mean. Yeah. So like basically, you just said like, yeah, we got an email. It's like, yeah, here's a cut of the film.
Well, that's crap because
And-
I
yeah.
wrote to them several times. He
Yeah,
never
yeah.
replied. So
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So obviously that's the one we picked. I would think James Farley being in a horror film is the greatest thing ever. So we've paid £100, and he's just done it and not.
Pretty much.
Right, let's do a public, like not a private one behind the paywall. Let's do a public talks over of that and just tear it to
Yeah.
pieces. Fuck him.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because we knew what role James was going to play, so we can see
Yeah.
who
You
did
were supposed
it.
to be a streamer, weren't you? Or
Yeah,
No,
it
he
was
was a streamer talking about, was it UFO conspiracies?
It's like,
or
yeah,
something?
conspiracy theorist or something.
Because
Yeah.
like,
God,
part of
that
me
is
was
such a
like,
perfect role for you as well.
yeah.
Yeah, life
You
is
look
work
like
on
you
the
could
Part of
internet.
be
me was
one of
like,
those guys.
oh, well, part of me was like, oh, to be fair, like the logistics of getting James onto, to Wales or whenever, I think it was North Wales that we're going to shoot.
Yeah,
it.
Wales, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, obviously that would have been difficult. Yeah, and then I was sort of skipping through it, and then I was like, oh no, there's like other people they've done clearly via Zoom and stuff.
Really?
So yeah.
So
we
it was
totally
just
could have had
James that
James
was
on.
left out.
Just didn't have a cut
Ouch.
of his jib.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, he emailed, we
You send him
emailed,
your
didn't get
headshots,
responses. It's a bit tight, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Maybe
actually
we'll
get our money
contact
back.
and say if you're doing a director's cut, then James wants a bigger piece.
Yeah, we do
He
a
can't have
talks
a bigger
over.
piece. You've seen the piece he's got.
Bigger than 0. Good point.
Yeah, we do a talks over of it. If the guy complains about
That's
the copyright infringement, we just say, well, look, we're recouing the money that you stole from us.
For not fulfilling the tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do another as foil because that was a Patreon stream, by the way. But yeah, we should do
Yes.
another foil consideration.
Yeah, I was good. Well,
yeah,
we're
we
going to do
should.
we're going to do. I said the TikTok challenge. We're going to do the Temu challenge next, don't we?
What's the team?
Oh, that's when we have a certain budget to buy.
We get like 30 quid each, and we have to buy someone else like a gift package.
Oh, that's
stuff from
good. Yeah,
Temu.
no, that is a good idea actually. Yeah,
we
like
should do
a
it
gift
because
each from
it'll take
Temu.
months to get here, but we should absolutely do that.
It takes like
Okay.
a week. It's fine.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was thinking of some other websites.
Um,
Okay, cool.
What was? Oh yeah. Sorry, I was trying to remember what the question was. Yeah, we answered that. It's fine. Jimmy says, "Wait, you guys get carded for root beer in England? Are you talking about the soda kind of root beer we have here in the States that people make root beer floats out of with ice cream, or is root beer over there something completely different? Getting carded for that here is unheard of. They have it at soda fountains and in vending machines. Is it that much different there?
I missed
No,
this
it's the same stuff.
conversation.
It's
What
the
was
same
this?
stuff. So this is last week I mentioned. So we were talking about Balatro, weren't we? And it being
That's right.
18 rated because it has gambling themes, which is debatable. Yeah, so I was saying that even as a non-drinker, so I've been ID'd for buying root beer and non-alcoholic cider. It varies from place to place. I think it is in the case of root beer. I think it's literally just the point of sale system just flagging up that something has beer in the name.
Right,
just
you
going
think
from
it's an
there.
error?
It could be an error, but like with a non-alcoholic cider, it's because you've got to go to the booze aisle to get it, right? So it's like
Which
so you
is
don't want to
naughty because
necessarily
you might smell a beer.
on that. So you don't want to necessarily encourage like children to be like, yeah, go to the booze aisle and just get the non-alcoholic stuff. It's fine. I think it's
Right.
considered a gateway, but yeah,
That's right.
I think,
yeah.
I think it's certainly also partly that like root beer is pretty rare here, relatively speaking. Like it's not necessarily in every supermarket or anything. Most people think it tastes like cough medicine. I say yes, it does. That's the point.
I think it tastes brilliant.
I
Whenever I
fucking
get the
love root
chance to have it, I'll have it. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever
it's
had one before.
Oh mate, it's so nice. Tastes like cough medicine.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, that is not. It's so nice. It tastes like shit. Do you know
I
what I
mean,
mean? That's all you're saying to
I
me.
don't like
Matt, how do
it.
you feel about Dr Pepper?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Okay,
Dr.
you might.
Pepper.
You
It's
might
like a
dig
much
the-
That's what I was
nicer-
going to do, but I stopped myself doing that. What's that,
Much
James?
nicer version of Dr.
Well,
Pepper.
that's okay. We could do that.
Okay.
That's okay.
James, what are you saying?
I just said, how do you feel about Dr Pepper?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
Are you though? Really?
I'll drink it. I don't dislike it.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm not.
Trash. That.
See, I love root beer. But I'm not wild about Dr. Pepper.
No, right. Root beer is a lot better, but there's it feels like they come from a similar
Yeah.
origin. But I mean, Diet Dr Pepper is vile, or the zero one is terrible. It
Right,
has so
okay,
much
right.
sugar.
We don't need to go into this. It's the gateway thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
and the fact that it's got beer in it and it will
Yeah.
really sensitive, which it wasn't always like that because Panda Pop. Do you remember Panda Pops, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
From the 80s or whatever. There's Panda Shandy. And
Yeah,
you
we
used to
just drink
we used to
Panda
drink
Shandy
shandy as
all the
kids.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's crazy, isn't it? You'd never do that
Different.
now.
world.
was a
Was
different world.
was there any? There wasn't any booze in it, was there? Was it like
Yeah, there would have been.
0.5%?
Shandy?
Sort of.
Yeah, there was like 0.1% or something. Yeah.
Shandy.
Yeah, I was off my face as a 16-year-old. Actually, no, I was actually on the side of it.
King Charles
All
III just says each word is on a separate line. It just says Kate Middleton theories.
Oh, this has been great. Unfortunately,
Not
she
seen the news
was
that's
seen on the
broken today?
weekend.
Have you seen
Oh, no.
Have you seen the TMZ picture?
In the garden centre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone's saying it's not her.
It's not her. Look at it. It doesn't look anything like her.
What? I saw a video and it didn't look like her. Her
Is
and
there-
Wills at some garden centre. But no.
Not to ruin the fun. Is there not like a genuine chance that it's something quite serious?
Well, no,
Yeah.
we know she's gone for abdominal surgery, so we assume
Right.
there is something serious.
Okay.
Well, do we know that though? That's
Well,
the
that's what
point,
we were
isn't it?
thinking. But then all the
One must
Photoshop
have
stuff
been.
is absolutely wild.
It is,
you know,
it is
like-
very strange the way they've handled it.
There
It's
was no
absolutely bizarre.
paparazzi shots of her mother visiting in hospital either. So that's,
Whoa.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't like talking about this stuff. It weirds me out.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, like obviously it started with like, well, we haven't seen her for weeks and months. We get that. That's fine. But then like the photo of like, oh look, me and the happy family, and everyone realizing all the weird kind of edit points, and then her in inverted commas putting a statement out saying, "I was a keen amateur photographer. I like to dabble in photo
Yeah, that
editing."
was.
It's like,
That was
what? So
so
you're
strange.
editing? Like, and
Yeah.
you would have edited, and your picture went out on Instagram. No one checked it. It's like, or whatever their social network they posted it on. It's just like, what? That doesn't feel real.
Very odd.
And then they pulled it. Everyone pulled it. Like, this is dodgy. Something. It's just like, I mean, it's probably obviously nothing. She just doesn't.
It
You know,
was
she
She
says
like
she
they
was.
that-
pulled the image instead of just being like, yeah, like you can do this shit on your phones now, guys. People edit stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It was like they were taking the piss though. When that photo come out and everyone started going, but look at the sleeves missing.
Yeah.
It's like as if they're sitting there going, look, right. Because if I was if legitimately, if I was Prince William, I'd be like, let's fuck this photo up and tweet it. Let's fuck it up and tweet it, man. Like Kate's like, oh no, I've
No,
just
'cause she's
recovering from
embarrassed the
surgery, and you're
family.
just like, no, let's fuck it up. And then when they do it, put some really weird statement about how you're a keen amateur photographer. You know what I mean? Like she want, let's be in a car, but make the bricks in the background look nothing like the bricks in the. It's like honestly, it's as if they're. That's what I'd be doing if I was in their situation. Put it that way. I'd be the next thing that I would do is a video where in the background you could see a shadow of like a gun being held up or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be the next thing that I'd
No, I
see.
think-
You,
Thinking more-
you do a video like that with has loads of edit points like that are
Yeah.
very obvious.
Yeah,
I am having a great.
Like Darth Marenghi, just like
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just it makes me think that Homer Simpson thing. You know where they set Homer Simpson up to be like
with
a
the gummy
real,
de Milo.
Yeah, the gummy de Milo. And the what's so good about that is there's the clock in the background that keeps
Yeah.
changing with the shed in. Oh man,
Yeah.
the Simpsons had some good shit going on at one point.
But no, it's been great. This whole Kate Middleton thing. I mean, well done to them. It's been lots of fun. But
Well, I don't think they're doing it as a fun mystery though.
it's the next series. It's like I think this is.
Well done on the ARG,
think-
guys.
Yeah, I think this is just getting people excited for the next series of The Crown. I think that's what it is. It's a marketing thing.
Okay, you saved yourself there.
It's a
'cause that
Netflix
was
thing.
weird. Okay, next.
MD Krabuffs says it's TCGS's annual curry night. What are you all having?
Yes. Oh,
Love this.
now I've got two answers for this.
Mhm.
If we're in a curry house that I know,
Mhm.
then I'm having a jalfrezi, pillar rice, naan bread, plain naan, lovely old job. In fact, actually, a beach patty instead of if it's a one that I know. If it's one that I don't, it's a balti, plain rice, and because you could fuck up a jalfrezi, it's hard to fuck up a balti. You gotta know where you're at if you So that's what I'm having. Sean, butter chicken.
Pretty much. No, korma. Yeah, I've never been able to tolerate spice. I've tried so many times; it is just deeply unpleasant to me. So yeah, so basically, when it comes to curries, I'm just all the sweet stuff. So but yeah, so like korma.
What sort of spice? Do you have chili heat wave Doritos? Can you handle them?
I don't know if I've tried them. Probably.
How
not.
hot do you go in Nando's? Lemon and herb?
Yeah.
Question.
No sauce. No. I didn't.
Dry
Plain.
chicken, please.
Yeah, peshwari naan, rice, and bhajis.
Yeah, but what rice?
It's pilau or plain, whatever. Yeah, not bothered.
I know not to call it naan bread
Yeah.
because
not?
naan means
Bread,
bread.
All right,
Just
bread, bread.
can have bread. Now I've been to a Nando's with James, and I know that he likes to go hardcore with the old
Z.
spice.
Yeah.
So what you like in a curry house?
See, I probably would go with like like a chicken dansak because I like that a lot. And it's reasonably spicy. Or the vindaloo is also pretty good. Peshwari naan, obviously.
Yeah,
You've gotta
Peshwari
go
all the
for
way.
that. I also like.
Plain.
The name is probably not quite. Like sag paneer as well. The spinach with the cheese. That's really good as well. And yeah, probably the pilau rice. I go for that. It's great. I
What
miss
is
it
the
so
deal
much.
with? What is the deal with? No, in a curry house, when you order poppadoms, why do they never actually give you the amount of poppadoms you order?
Yeah, you
you
get them for the
assume that
table,
they
don't
give
you?
you like
You
two
order
for
2, and then
free.
you get 5 for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
And
It
it's like,
always happens.
why?
It's so random, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, it's always over. It's never under. But you, oh yeah, we'll have 4 poppadoms. Yeah, well it's 6 then.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
And
Oh,
this little
okay,
bag of
fine,
salad
but
that
what-
you do not want to touch.
Yeah, that no one ever eats that. It's
No one ever eats that. Everyone goes for the mango chutney every time. That's all you're after.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, Madras, pilau, and Peshwari naan bread.
All right. Okay. We need to go for a curry.
Yeah, there's an amazing
Sure.
co place. It's a chain, but we've got a Bundo bust in Leeds. It's basically like Indian street food. Absolutely amazing. They've currently got like a Chinese kind of New Year flavored fusion menu. Oh, fucking, it's so good.
Just have a normal curry. We're just going for a
Well,
normal
no,
curry. now. I don't want,
there is
like,
an
Chinese
amazing curry
food.
house next door, but like for lunch, if you want something quick, like Bundo bust street food. Oh, it's so nice, so good.
Okay.
Oh, I could go for a fucking curry.
Tell me about it.
Bollocks.
I'm hungry now.
Because it's 11 o'clock at night. Last question comes from Simmer the Kettle's Boiling.
Don't get it.
Christ's sake.
Dear TCGS.couch potatoes, I really enjoyed the 2-man show recently. In regards to that, and now most weeks are 3-man shows, are there any other regular
Didn't it break
guests?
records, Matt? Didn't it?
It
break
did actually, yeah.
records
And in fact,
downloads?
downloads were lower the following week where more people came back. So
Embarrassing.
Who are these?
See,
pricks?
Matt sent me a private message with the download figures and said, "Who's gonna tell him?"
like, when do we let the other two down?
sorry, Sean. I jumped in the way.
Now that most weeks are 3-man shows, are there any other regular guests you'd like to have on the show alongside Sarah, Ellie, Ian Lee, and James Farley? Keep up the great work, lads. Easily the best gaming pod around. The 3 of you have a great rapport, and it shows. Thanks.
Yeah, obviously, Ellie, I would love to have back. I know, I'd love to have back.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Bratters,
Are
I'd
there
love to have
any,
back.
any dream people who we would like to have on as regulars that we haven't contacted or
Any dream people?
Yeah.
Before I say yes, of course, Ian Lee, I would love to have back as well. I just realised that
I
was
mean-
the only one for the list that I hadn't mentioned, and now I
fuck
100% want Ian back on the show.
I
He will
want-
be back on the show soon.
I want Major Nelson. Like on it. I think
Do
that'd
you
be-
really?
That would be
though?
pretty good.
Yeah.
But only if we know that he'd be happy for us to like ask anything and do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just go, mate, did you ever look at what did they dress you or did you dress you?
Yeah, do you have a stylist?
Did you yeah. Louis P says, would you have Jeff Keighley on?
No.
Yeah, we'd have him on, but I
wouldn't- I
don't know
wouldn't
how we'd handle the situation.
He'd be promoting stuff the whole time he was on anyway. It'd be awful.
Yeah.
Well, we do ask the guest what you want to plug, so that's kind of. I mean, that's what he does.
How long
like,
have you got?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do it at the start.
Turn out he's been selling spots on our show.
The thing is, I want comedians on rather than games
Yeah.
people, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
problem is, there are a lot of comedians that you just think maybe a 2.5 hour video game show is a stretch for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, because I've always wondered if like there's people we would love to interview but not necessarily have on for a full show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for years, a dream one of mine was Danny Wallace because I really
right.
wanted to talk to him about because he used to write for games magazines, but then
Yeah.
Ian Lee fucking beat us to it on his show.
Yeah, but
So
We can still do it.
which is fair enough.
I do think there's something in a TCGS interviews
Yeah,
podcast feed
yeah.
where we can just interview whoever we want, whether it's gaming or not.
Mhm.
Like, I really want to. There's this. Look, it's one of those things. I know that I'm one of the only people that's going to like this, but there's this group, I guess you got called Get Down Services, right? That released this album called Crisps at the end of last year, and it is just it's brilliant. Like, I don't know what it is. It just connects with me. I fucking love it. I fucking love the music, and it's him just swearing a lot over the music and being really funny and interesting. And I love the album so much. And I don't know anyone else that's into this album, and I just want to sit down with them and just ask them about every single song, and just go through every single bit of every single song and stop it and go, what was the decision there? Why did you do that? And like, why? Maybe there's a scope in doing something like this, and maybe we should consider it. I'd love to do something. I'd love to do it with just random interviews with random people that we find interesting. Whether it's an interesting. That's the problem.
But that's funny, isn't it? Because I sort of,
it is a skill, isn't it, to interview well?
Yeah, when I sort of hear that, I think, but like, it would take us so long to like get like a series together, right? It could take us months to actually arrange the stuff and and actually do the recordings and then what have you. But then you listen to Adam Buxton, and he's like, here's a conversation we had in March 2022.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, what?
This is the problem. Yeah, I'm terrible for stuff like that. I want to when I've done something, I want to put it out straight away.
Yeah.
And that's what was really fucking hard about Marvel calls, because it was like, honestly, holding back on that stuff for that length of time was a killer for us, because it was I
think how me and Sean felt
to talk about it all. I still think we were right. We should have kept it quiet till that TCGS.
That would have been a killer.
I would have fucking loved that. I still watch that reveal every now and then. That was one of that was a proud moment. That I like that. Right. Look, Matt looks so upset.
Fucking hell. Who would I have on? There's loads of people I could have on, but it's hard to know. We've been really lucky.
What was that bit? There's loads of people I could have on. Like who?
I'm thinking like some people from Kind of Funny, some people like Patrick Klepek, some people on other podcasts to listen to and like, but like, would it work? Would it work with the style of the show? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the
just because I listen to them doesn't mean it's actually going to work at all. I think we've been really lucky with pretty much all the guests we've had. Like they've all kind of worked and like they get it, and it's tough to do that. We've managed to luck out, I think, the ones we've got on, but it won't always.
I think we're better as well at like if we have a guest on, we're not just going to do all the in jokes, and you know what I mean. I think we're better at being conscious of that.
But there's also the fact that like it's weird. We have been very lucky, where you get someone like Ian on, or you get someone like Ellie on, and you just think, are they going to get it? Are they going to get it, or is this going to be awkward? And everyone just seems to get it.
Yeah, I know. Like, we haven't really spoken to him before. Like, we knew he did great stuff. He was just like instantly, like, he got it and he was part of it. It's like, oh god, this isn't fair. That's basically why we didn't have guests for years, because we're like, will it work? How is it going to affect the dynamic? Oh no, got some on, and it was great. And I would love to have more.
Sarah and Sean, isn't it? Just come straight on, do like it's just. A few people saying what about Tamor? Yeah, I mean, there was a joke recently, wasn't it? Is Tamor too Hollywood for you now?
Yeah.
And we replied, no, we're too Hollywood for Tamor these days. But he sort of seemed to indicate that he wanted to do it.
I would love to have more guests and new guests and like new talent and all sorts. Not just like people that everyone knows about, new people that we maybe listen to and we're enjoying. But I know. It's a lot of admin, but we would like to do more for sure. If there's anyone listening you think will work well, then let us know and we'll have a listen. If they're not going to work,
but don't at them.
No, do not on that. Just like email, message us like tcgs.co/dear tcgs. If you think there's something you think might work well, let us know and we'll do the research. But yeah, it's always good to hear who other people listen to, who they think might work well with the.
Ryan says, but would you have the back page guys on? Well, I mean, it was mentioned on their show recently, and we didn't mention it. But yeah, they were supposed to be on last year, but things didn't work out. They had to pull out. And yeah, hell yeah, we'd have them on.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Hell yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we will definitely. That will definitely happen at some point. It's just about finding the right time, and there's been other people like. Sorry, I want Tom Ori to come on, but Tom seems to be reluctant. Maybe I don't know.
Quite a lot of the VG, like Alex Donaldson as well. I'd love to have him on. Like,
he's Jim,
incredibly smart, and would.
I'd like to have Pete Donaldson on.
I think.
Pete Donaldson would be great.
We've had Pete Donaldson on, haven't we?
Yeah, I'd like to have him again. He'll be great. There's
Louis P asked, "Would you have Charlie Brooker on?" Yeah,
fucking hell yeah,
absolutely.
I'd be really worried that it'd say something cutting towards me, though. Just like,
what
well,
you want,
you're a
isn't it?
I
bit
don't
silly
think he
then,
would. I
aren't
think
you?
he's,
And
when I've heard him in interviews and stuff, turns out he's quite nice. Who'd have
he's-
thought?
yeah, he's not the person that he is on that show where he's having
No.
a go at the government. Okay.
Also, Brett was on a couple of times. He's been brilliant. So
Yep.
yeah, we have been very
Yeah,
lucky
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
I'd love to know if there's like someone who is quite big that listens but has never got in touch. I'd love to know.
If you're big and you listen, get in touch.
Get in touch.
If you're famous,
Get in touch.
help us out,
Yeah.
please.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson loves the shoe.
Yeah.
What if
Holy
Taylor
shit.
Swift was a listener?
I still get get Blake back. Blake will be back on again soon. We've been chatting lots recently. His podcast, the MMA Fan Podcast, seems to be just going from. They got a studio now, and it
Yeah,
looks
I've seen
that.
beautiful. Yeah. They're smashing
Amazing.
it. That's really it's really exciting how that's sort of taken off, and it's like his passion has now become a big part of what he does, like day to day now. So it's really cool. And yeah, I still can't believe that Ian comes on here and he's willing to sit here for 2.5 hours talking bollocks with us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's exciting. The guest thing, as you said, Matt, there was such a long period of this show's history where we just didn't have guests on. And I look back at that now and go, fucking bunch of idiots.
Yeah, what a missed opportunity.
I think we were
Yeah,
just
what
so
a missed
worried that
opportunity.
they're like it wouldn't work because we're like, oh, this appears to be going well, but we don't really know why. So if we take
Yeah.
someone out and bring someone else in, is that going to ruin it?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't-
it
yeah.
wasn't for me. It was more like, why would anyone want to sit through this bollocks? Like, why would anyone want to sit
that.
through me
Yeah,
and me and James having an argument about
Mhm.
fucking?
And you're right, it's a
Right.
long time. It's not like, oh yeah, come on for an hour show, go to the studio,
Yeah.
record it. No, how about you get on at 8:30 and we're done at 11:30 if you're lucky.
It's your
And there's
whole-
My
shouting
approach
involved.
to guests are embarrassing. When we make our first like pitch to a guest, I just hate myself because it's like I always like, oh, it's really long and you only get this amount of money for it, so just tell me to fuck off if you
I mean,
want.
as
Like,
an
it's
hourly
all these
rate, it's
caveats.
still not bad.
Well, it's also a lot more than most podcasts.
Yeah, I bet most don't even pay their guests, so I think we're okay with that. Maybe start with that and then at the end. So yeah, 3.5 hours below. Thanks, bye.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we done?
That is it. We're done for
It's
questions.
time for the socials, Matt.
Yes, on Thursday, Sean is back for Bell's Bedtime Builds. He is building an interstellar spaceship in Lego.
Yeah, mate. Not
That's
the
Thurs-
spaceship from Interstellar.
No,
Just
that's
the
what I
spaceship.
read when I first saw it. I was
it's
like,
a bit-
brilliant.
I suppose
You were like crying and stuff at the thing. Yeah, so that is twitch.tv/TCGS code live from 9 p.m. on Thursday. On Friday, also from 9, James Weed live streaming Dark Souls 3. If you missed James's previous streams or even Sean's previous bedtime builds, they're all on our YouTube channel. Just search for TCGS on YouTube and you'll see the VODs. But they're both on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime and a Twitch account, connect your accounts, you get a free sub as part of that. And why not go to our channel and give us your free sub? You can't keep it, you have to give it away, and we really appreciate it when you give it to us. The Patreon is patreon.com/TCGS. The bonus show should be out hopefully this week. I think we're recording this week. Video show next week where we're doing the Sonic Choose Your Own Adventure Sonic versus Sonic book. And the website is tcgs.co for links to our amazing, beautiful Discord community where people are playing Helldivers every day. So if you've got something, you want to play Helldivers, you've got now got any friends to play with, go over to our Discord. The store is tcgs.co/store where you can get a new James Fire t-shirt. It's now live on the store to buy.
I just booted up the store to look at it. That t-shirt is unbelievable. It's so good. I can't imagine. I'm not just saying this. I can't imagine anyone clicking on that and going, nah. Like,
Yep,
it's too good.
tcgs.co/store to get your James Farley realization of a mid-90s dream t-shirt. And
It
links
looks
to all our
brilliant
stuff's on
in
there.
white as well. It looks good in white. It looks good in black.
Yeah, I checked all the colours, both. So it's in men's premium t-shirt, women's premium t-shirt. All colours work. Yeah,
They all do work, don't they? It's just
because normally you have to turn a colour or two off.
Sean.
Normally you have to turn a few off because they don't work, but they all work, baby.
Okay, well, thank you so much for living it. We'll catch you next week for some more gaming chat. And are you here next week, James?
Yeah.
Fucking
Wow.
hell! Well, he's
2
going
in
for
a row.
streak. Guaranteed he's ill. We'll catch you then. Goodbye. We
Cheers,
love
everyone.
you.
Right.
Goodbye.